No, screw him. Let the internet see your shame. Welcome to Delve Requisite, people. Jason's not in his goddamn chair. It's 7:13. This is the energy we're coming into this stream with tonight.
Help!
I didn't even get to say anything before we got.
No, I surprised started the stream.
Look, I missed it. I feel naked.
Be glad I didn't come back with a dinosaur costume.
That's true.
I totally thought.
But only screw yourself.
It's very hard to sit in. Yes.
I really thought today was Monday.
It's Tuesday, which means it's Delve Requisite time.
Sorry.
So let's all the times. Let's
Sponsor,
give
go.
a shout out to the sponsors: Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. ! Little Dragon or ! CCG will give you a link to those websites.
Oh shit, he got it.
Please check them out. There it is. Please check them out. If you order some dice from Little Dragon Corp, that's what they sell is dice. If you order some dice from them, you can use our code BONUS at checkout for 15% off of your order. Thank you to Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. Let us begin. When we... What?
I suddenly remember what I did last week, and I...
When we
you made a real bad decision.
May not feel shame, folks, but he does feel regret.
Only a little bit.
Only when I remember.
He regrets fucking nothing.
Tonight on Delve Requisite, Jason faces the consequences of his own actions.
This is when another of Jason's characters dies again.
I believe the name of the town that you guys are in currently is Elethalos.
Yes.
Cool. Not gonna remember that.
What's that?
Not gonna remember
LA
that.
Fitness, got it.
It's okay. The only reason I remembered it is because I remembered to write it down last week, and I was able to flip back to the page. It is a town I made up on the spot and will never appear in the campaign again after today. Elethalos, you are in this town inside the Ignian Empire, where you have diverted from your path towards the Estelgath to undertake an assignment given to you by Zavarand Moxham, Walter's erstwhile patron and the patron of the Moxham Trading and Mercantile Organization. He has told you that the Ignian forces, in their bid for apparently continental domination, have voided all of their contracts with outside entities and have, as such, seen fit to seize Moxham property within their borders. It just so happened that you guys were nearby to where they had like a warehouse, a distribution facility. That the Ignians had converted to a way station where they were using it to supply chain materials into Mithlindace to support the war effort. So in a swift and decisive display of corporate fuck-youism, Moxham said, blow up the warehouse, disrupt their supply chain, to prevent them from utilizing Moxham goods. We consider the loss of the contents of the warehouse and the warehouse itself acceptable loss, and we will not have them making use of it. And while you're there, by the way, there's some sick loot in a vault in the sub-basement of it that you can take with you and will help you on your journey. Y'all rolled into the town, went to the bar, where Alar, in an attempt to pull some documents off of an Ignian officer, got himself into a spot of trouble where that officer and a few of his buds came sort of like beat him up in the lavatory in the restroom. You guys came to their aid, had a very quiet fight in the bathroom so as not to alert the others in the bar that you were beating guys up back there. And we finished last session as you guys concluded your fight. You killed the Ignian officer. Alar has his documents, which identify him as Shift Supervisor Thalanil Denarin. Brahm, you used your Mask of 1,000 Faces to steal his identity. For the next 1 hour, you have access to, like, surface-level versions of his memories that will allow you to, like, impersonate him more effectively. And of course, his visage is now stored inside your Mask of 1,000 Faces. You then realized that Walter is not in the bathroom with you. Walter, you are turbo walking with a clipboard.
Fast walk clipboard. Let's go.
Disguised self as as this individual. I don't. You'll have to refresh my memory. I don't know, Walter, if you even know the guy's name.
Nope.
Because you left. You just saw him and left disguised as him, so you have no information.
No,
you just
he
look
does.
like this guy.
Because we left off where the guy said his name. Hey, Supervisor Denarin.
So context clues. I have no idea what his name, or Walter has no idea what his name is. Jason didn't either. And then Fast Walk Clipboard ignored the guy yelling in his direction, and then the second time the guy yelled his name out, like it was like, okay, this is who this is.
Yeah, he said this is a guy kind of yelled out like, Supervisor Denarin, you have to come to the checkpoint. What I want to do is actually, I'm going to start with the others. Because what I want to know, because this will kind of affect how I proceed with Jason. We jump into the action the moment you guys finish the fight. Brahm takes that guy's face. You shove those guys into the bag of holding. So just as a refresher on mechanics here, one guy is dead. The other two guys are alive but unconscious. They are currently stuffed inside of the bag of holding. They have 10 minutes of oxygen before they suffocate. Do with that information what you will. That's the situation you're in right now. Rogers, Rana, and Carlisle are at a table outside. You realize Walter's not in the bathroom. What do you do?
God damn it, Walter.
There's Walter.
One of the stalls open, and a guy in a red and white striped shirt and a hat goes, "Huh?"
Sit down.
No, sorry, sir, not you.
Stay in your lane!
Close the stall door.
No.
He's like, sit down.
Wait, do you mean from the bathroom stall? No, there was nobody in there with us.
No, that was a joke.
Okay, I was like, do I have to kill somebody else now?
It was a no.
The stall door closes and he goes,
He opens it like, hey, and just violence in his general direction. It's like,
You
no,
guys know that episode of you guys know that episode of Community where they try to break in that lawyer's office and the security guard comes up and they chloroform him and then they're like, we have to get out of this. And then they all pretend that they got chloroformed. And then when he wakes up and he's like, what happened? Why did you guys get chloroformed? And why do you have a rag in your hand? And they're like, and then they chloroform again. It's like that. Like that guy comes out of the bathroom. You're like, the bag over his head.
I like to think that, he opened the door, it said that, Brittany said that, what she just said, the door closed, and then you just hear, oh no, I'm ceasing to exist! Fades away.
So Walter's gone. We
so
got
Walter's
Walter's gone. And half of a man is inside of a bag
Does
of
anybody
holding.
have sending?
Please.
Would I shoot Walter a
Making
quick
me use all my
WTF text?
motherfucker. Sending to Walter. What the fuck, bitch? Where did you go? We just killed a couple guys. What the fuck, bitch?
All right.
That's a lot of words.
Walter, you get this message as an Ignian is jogging up to you.
I'm gonna respond with, let's see, 25 words.
Mm-hmm.
YOLO. That's it.
Fast walk clipboard.
All right, using
No,
25 words.
no, yeah, that's not just it. So Walter's gonna say fast walk clipboard. Going to pretending to be manager. Fast walk clipboard. What happened to the bodies? Yeah.
Okay, you asked that question to which she cannot respond to you without using another spell slot.
He's not getting an answer
So
right
the
now.
information that you got from Walter, if I followed that, was fast walk clipboard. What happened to the bodies?
And pretending
No,
to be the
I said I was
manager.
pretending to be the
okay.
manager.
All right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm going to say out loud, he's pretending to be the manager. Fast walk clipboard. Does that mean anything to any of you? And he wants to know what happens to
Yes,
the bodies.
it
He's gonna get that
does.
information later. I don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah,
I know what that means.
Yeah, so do I.
It means Walter's an idiot.
What does it
Besides
mean?
that, he's hoping, look like you belong there. Fake it until you get to your objective.
Oh, he's
That
doing the thing where
also-
you walk with confidence and act like you belong, and then hope no one bothers you. And great. Well, I
That
assume
also-
he's going to the warehouse. Maybe we should get going.
There's one
What about the
problem.
bodies?
Brahm's disguise is exactly that one too. Oh, by the way, here, that guy's papers.
How about we all just don't worry about Brahm's disguise right now, and we get rid of the bodies. Well, all the bodies are in the bag.
Yes. I
How
have
Why
an
don't we
idea.
just run over there and try to save Walter from himself?
You and I, decent chance of doing so.
More
Uh,
importantly, Walter is stealing my act. I will not stand for it.
To be fair, I started the game with this.
I'm gonna check the man halfway in the bag. How is he?
No, no,
doing?
you've shoved that guy the rest of the way in the
Oh,
bag.
he's already. He's
All
already
three
in the
dudes
All
are
of
in
them
the
are in.
bag.
bag. Okay, so they don't have much time in there.
We got
So
10
what-
minutes of air.
10 minutes of air.
They also would be able to finger us for assaulting Ignian officials. In all honesty,
I'm
my
okay with just forgetting about them and pretending like oopsie daisies.
my plan is
I'm not sticking around here to
leave
get
them in
pregnant.
there
Let's
until
get
we
outta
have to
here.
dump the fertilizer, and the evidence takes care of itself.
Yeah, yeah. I think.
I just high five Aylar.
I think. Yeah, I think that's good. Can I just look in this bag real quick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look inside.
Filled with vomit.
No, I'm gonna look inside. Real. Just-
You put your. Well, if you just. Are you just like opening it? Because if you just open it, you
No,
just
I'll
see
put,
like.
I'll put my head in a
Okay,
little bit.
You have to like see inside. You do have to put your head in. So you like.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I'll
You
put
guys
my head.
watch as like Oz like pulls the bag over his head, and so like his head goes into it, and then the bag just like flops down as if empty. So now he's like. he's just like a neck with like a with an empty bag sitting on top of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Osrius, inside the bag of holding, you see, like, in addition to the other stuff that you have, there's like that spare suit of Ignian armor that you guys took. There's like some coins. There's some other stuff you've like stored in the bag. You do see like 3 bodies just sort of like cartwheeling slowly around space. One of them is the guy that Brahm put the burning coin out his neck. So like as that guy like cartwheels around, his just like limbs are like kind of going everywhere, and there's like a little bit of like blood kind of like trailing behind him in this like gravityless void. The other 2
we're
guys
never gonna get that
appear to
out.
be actually. The one guy was unconscious when you threw him in there. You put the guy that you stuffed in was conscious when he went in, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that guy,
Yeah,
that guy is
that
like,
guy's
whoa, what's happening?
That's the guy I threatened, and he peed himself outside the bag, and then we shoved the rest of him inside the
That's
bag.
good. It's outside the bag.
All right. I'm gonna be. All right. Sorry about that. Maybe you'll get out of here soon. Talk to you later.
He goes, no, don't leave me in the. And you come out of the bag.
I'm surprised you didn't just like aggressively breathe their air so they could have less.
Just gonna breathe it. No, I wasn't.
Not for you.
If all 3 of them were alive, I was gonna spit in the bag, but it's fine.
All right.
Okay, so the guy's still alive. I think we're chill. So we walk out with the disguise and his prisoners, maybe, as we normally do.
That would work if Walter wasn't
How
the same guy currently.
couldn't we? Couldn't we just, Brahm, you do your thing, and then when we get to Walter, we capture him as a prisoner of ours, and then as we're dealing with him, we just help Walter escape, and it'll be fine?
But we'd be the same guy.
But you have his papers.
I think that would raise too many questions.
How? If you come in looking like him, sounding like him, having all of his knowledge from the masky thingy, woo woo woo.
Secondary, similar idea. Zintris, you give me the bag. Alar's gonna dive into the bag, pull out the Ignian armor. You and me, we get Walter. You are very angry. Yes, because you can lie very well. I look my.
What am I angry about with him?
He's fucked up your supply chain. And he needs to fix it, and he needs to fix it outside right the fuck now.
I think we have to start moving. I can yell and scream and be fine. It's fine.
Alar is going to start quickly putting on the armor.
You caught him with your husband.
You know what?
Make up
Well,
something
he
on the
is my
fly.
husband. No.
You know what? I'm just.
They would know that.
You know what? I
Uh,
just
Like,
gonna do?
Jason the
It's-
player is a little upset you guys think this little of me, but like,
You know what?
do
I'm.
what you want.
I'm just gonna
You
make
walked off
this
on your own,
easier.
bro.
No, well, I had a plan, obviously, but like,
Well, yeah.
do what you guys are doing your scene. So. do what you want.
Alar's concern is
We need
you're
some
surrounded by elves, and
We
they're
don't know
good
that.
at seeing through illusion spells.
Let's just get going.
What was?
Since
what was
just
Curtis
is very
saying
like
there?
the clock is ticking.
Well, I don't know what we're doing now. I want to get what everybody else is doing.
Alar's putting on armor, and the current rough plan that I understand is we're gonna like charge over there, and I'm gonna be like pissy that like he fucked with my supplies.
Who's he?
Walter, as the guard captain
Okay,
or the
what is
ship
Brahman Oz
supervisor,
Yeah.
whatever they want.
We probably will have to trail behind them out of sight. Until
Either that or stay
I
here.
can transform into a dude that's not another dude.
So like,
Yeah.
as you guys are talking, like the door opens, like, and you guys all like turn and look.
Occupado!
Alar, you're like halfway into a pair of Ignian pants, and like Rogers pokes his head in the door, and he like kind of takes this scene. He's like, "Okay, just thought I'd check. Walter left the bar like 5 minutes ago."
We know.
And you have all been in here for a very long time, and people are getting suspicious.
Fuck.
Let's just leave. Let's
he,
just
like-
leave.
Okay. Alar's finishes
Thank you,
putting on
Rogers.
the armor. Thanks. All right.
Is there a window in this bathroom?
No.
Terrible
Damn it.
ventilation. Smells amazing in there.
Oh god.
Okay. Brahm, I can give you an illusion of those two guys that were with him. Just walk out, and then like turn the corner, and then just if you want to wear his that dude's face, I don't.
So
know.
we're gonna shift. The answer to my question was, how long are you guys gonna fuck around before moving?
Yeah.
So how long do I leave Walter to like his own shenanigans? The answer was the longest time.
Yeah, I know.
So
know.
Walter, now we're gonna
Okay.
rewind time back to like the beginning of that conversation, which is right after you get the sending. So you get that sending, you like quick answer it back, and then that guy like catches up to you at a jog, and he says, "Supervisor down there, and you must go through the checkpoint. You cannot, it is regulation. You cannot simply enter into the outpost."
In my best Ignian accent, which I cannot do physically,
Fair
as
enough.
it will kill me quickly. I'm going to like look at him like dead in the face and say like, if I go through that checkpoint one more time and they find out, I'm going to pull into the bag of holding and grab Ignian armor, that this wasn't delivered and I signed for it and you saw me sign for it, the general's going to have both of our heads.
Make a deception check.
I can do that.
Is there?
How's a 20 sound?
I guess the Ignian armor hasn't been pulled.
Has
out.
not been pulled yet.
There's seven. Yeah, there
But
were
does he
several
know
sets
that there's
anyway.
armor
Few
in there?
sets. There were a few sets. Walter knows that
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
we have a few sets in there.
I didn't know if they were previous.
20. It's a 20.
20. Okay. So he's
And then Walter's gonna like put it back in the, Walter as the supervisor gonna put it back in the bag. He's like, we can't. Shh.
So the guy seems more confused than anything. You don't sense like disbelief from him necessarily, as like he seems very confused as to like what you're talking about. He's very confused about why you have a bag of holding and that armor, like, but he doesn't disbelieve you, and he says I don't understand what the any of that is, but you know, it's protocol. If I did not check your papers and send you through the checkpoints, and then I am going to have to answer to the general, and I hardly see how it will waste any more time.
Walter's gonna try to start walking I need to go,
Okay.
and then he'll say, it's and then I'm gonna pull my shovel out and cast banishment on him.
Okay. Roll to hit, or you just have to touch, right?
No, he has to save.
He's gotta make a save. How's a 4 suit you?
Yeah, it fails. So he
Okay.
I'm going to fast walk clipboard, and he continuing.
I'm just gonna roll a d20.
It's
to
fine.
See
Whatever.
if anybody saw that. I'm gonna say 10 or above. Somebody saw it. 10 or below, you somehow manage to banish and then move on without being seen. 5. You.
It happened so fast. Nobody realized what was happening.
You know what I think it is. I think you already have the bag of holding up because you showed him that armor. I think you reach into the bag and just the end of the hilt, the pommel, or whatever you want to call it, of the shovel comes out. So you just go BOP! It hits him in the center of the forehead. And he
Take a look at this.
And then you put the shovel back in the bag.
Sold. All right.
You can shove him in the
4 charges.
Into the bag as he
No,
goes
the
forward?
guy disappears.
Well,
He's banished.
yeah,
so
he's
for,
banished.
He's
for a
banished.
minute, he's on a
For
Denny
1
plane.
minute. Yeah. Different demiplane than our bag, I assume. And I'm gonna run. I'm going to walk very quickly.
You run.
Fast walk clipboard.
You fast walk clipboard, and you enter. You get to the door, and you open it, and you move inside. You immediately find that you are inside a pretty heavily trafficked warehouse. Essentially, it is one big room for the most part. You do see that there are some additional side rooms. There's a set of stairs at the far end that leads up to an overseer's type of area.
Is this a standard Moxham large warehouse?
Yes.
I'm going to go where I'm pretty sure the sub-basement entrance is.
You go, yes. You
And
have
just
the benefit
immediate,
here, where you're going in this structure. You
I'm
know
going
exactly
straight to that
where the
sub-basement.
is. So you head past. Now that you're inside, people don't pay you as much mind because you're one of a lot of people moving around here. At one point, you do hear somebody who is part of a group of people loading a convoy that is getting ready to leave through one of the sliding barn doors at the front of this warehouse. You see somebody kind of in your periphery as you pass, look and seem a little and you hear somebody call out in Ignian. They say, "Neil, I thought your shift was over. Why are you still here?"
I'm just gonna shake my head
You just keep
and
on.
then just keep going. As soon as I have a blind corner where I don't think anybody's watching me, I'm going to disguise self as the guy I banished.
Okay.
So I'm just skipping faces as fast as I can.
So you
I-
move
with-
to these stairs that is going to take you to the sub basement. You open it up and then you close that door and on the staircase you're by yourself for a moment so you can
sold,
change
done.
directions. You get to the bottom of the stairs. You enter into the sub basement, which is essentially just a long single hallway corridor that mirrors the length of the interior part of the warehouse. And then off of it, there are heavy metal doors on either side of the hallway. There are 6 total. They are labeled 1 through 6. These, are these 6 secure vaults where higher value items are stored. Immediately, you can see that down here there is in the middle of the hallway. There's a tent with a bunch of tables and like papers and things laid out on it. Several like chairs are placed in this area. There appears to be a crew of Ignian like engineers set up down here. They are currently gathered around the door to Vault 2.
How big is this room?
It is a hallway that is 10 feet wide by like probably 150 feet long, with the doors evenly spaced. So it's a fairly long like chamber. So they're probably like 30 feet from you. They're at like one of the they're at Vault 2, so they're at like one of the earlier doors. You see one guy is like drawing something with chalk on the metal door, while the other guys like look, and one of them is like consulting a book.
I am going to cast Silence centered on them, and
Okay.
start Eldritch blasting.
Shit. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen. You fire off this silence spell. It encompasses the area around them. There are 5 of them. As the silence spell encompasses them, you hear nothing coming from them as they like pantomime startled, surprised shouts and turn to look at you. You do hear from even like over the commotion from upstairs, you hear like the shouting start as the guy that you banished apparently has reappeared and has entered the warehouse and raised the alarm. That is where we now jump to you guys as you exit the tavern and like begin moving towards moving towards to get a look at what's going on before you decide like what are we gonna do with Oz and Brahm. Rogers, Rana, and Carlisle are like with you as well, like waiting out to see like, okay, like what's the plan gonna be, acting on the fly here. You see like in the distance you see a guy like pop into existence and then immediately like wah! Start like shouting, and he runs inside, and a moment later like a flurry of activity begins.
Oh, Walter, what the hell did you do?
I think Walter's cover is blown, and I think you can act like that guy now, Rob. Since you would know more about him and have his actual paperwork.
Yep, sure.
I think. I hope. Are we just
Walters,
running
Rana,
over there?
Carlisle,
Like we're indignant?
get the cart ready.
Oz, you want to act like ready to beat people up for your main man here? And I point at Brahm as he is getting ready to do this
Sure.
thing.
Sure.
I guess we're just bluffing our way in as far as we can go, and then we start going off until we find Walter. Is that the plan?
Or until he finds us. Or until we have to blow the place up.
Don't we need to get to Vault 6?
That was an extra. The main goal was to blow the place up.
Got it.
Hopefully, we encounter Walter on the way.
Alrighty. Let's... I'm trying to figure out if I want to have you guys roll initiative and, like, handle this through initiative, but I think the way that's going to play out is going to be, like, lopsided. So I think let's stick with you guys, the larger group for now. You guys begin running down the hill. Rogers, Rana, and Carlisle loop off the other way, or heading around to the back of the tavern to go get the caravan and the horses. The group of you are kind of like running down the hill. Alar, you are in Indian armor. Zintris, you are looking like an Ignian. Brahm, you are disguised as the shift supervisor. You can kind of like there's there's just like a whisper in the back of your mind as you're like, running down the hill. You kind of like look at guys as you run past them, like you see like Ignians, and like a whisper in the back of your mind, as you like glance at an individual, says like, Aelon, Feather Whisper, Fierin, Dark Mantle. Like you hear, they're kind of their name, like things that like this guy knows about people that you pass, kind of like echoes in the back of your mind. You make it as far as the the main courtyard of this depot. When coming out of the door to it is an individual that is like rather frazzled looking. He is accompanied by several like ranking looking Ignians and a pair of like heavily armored like elite guards. You're like in the back of your mind, like a voice tells you, as you look at this like frazzled looking man, tells you like Raifon Dakath is his name, and he like sees you, Brahm, and like points at you, and he says, "Another one!" He says, "Something is going on here. Someone looking just like Shift Supervisor Thanalil just came in here with a clipboard and no papers, and he hit me, I think, with a shovel, and then I was nowhere for a minute. Something is going on. Who are you? Stop them!" And one of the people next to him like puts a hand on his shoulder to like steady him for a minute, and approaches you. He is a higher ranking official. The back of your mind tells you that his name is Commander Taryn. He strides up to you and he says, "If you would be so kind as to identify yourself and present your papers."
What did Daenerys originally sound like? Did you just like generic?
Just
Ignian?
French.
And this was Commander what?
Oh, baguette.
Tal-
His name is
Taryn?
Commander Taryn.
Commander Taryn. Is he's I assume he is a higher rank than me?
He's higher ranked than you.
Commander Taryn, there is a bit of a situation developing.
He continues to look at you and he says, "I am aware. Your identification, please."
I like hand up my papers to go. I was
Takes it easy.
off duty and I was accosted in the lavatory of the bar. What were the name of the other guys with me? They have names.
They did not have names.
Bill and Joe.
Bill and Joe, yeah.
Bill and Joe are dead, and someone has knocked me unconscious, and I assume has tried to make their way into the facility. You say you saw another one of me moments ago?
Make a deception check with advantage because of your Mask of Thousand Faces.
How does a 30 sound?
Holy mackerel. Taryn hands your identification papers back and he says, "Most peculiar. Rest assured that we shall deal with the matter that you were incapacitated by a couple of ruffians in a lavatory, and that apparently 2 officers of the Ignian Imperial Army are dead. That we shall deal with later. For now, yes, someone wearing your visage attempted to gain entry to the warehouse when he gestures to the guy who like pointed you out. He said when Private Raifan attempted to stop him and get him to submit to the proper security protocols, he used some sort of banishment magic, it appears, by all accounts, on him, and entered the warehouse. We are initiating a lockdown and getting to the bottom of this. He gestures towards the two like elite guys. He says, I will go and have the perimeter secured so that no one can exit the depot. He says, you take these two and head inside. Begin the investigation, find the intruder, and apprehend him alive if possible.
You're talking to us or the...
He's talking to you, Brom.
Okay.
Like, he...
I couldn't tell if he meant... if he was giving us the job to go...
He, like... As you, like, go to, like, move... Zintris, Alar, he, like, doesn't question you guys at all. But, like, before you guys move, he like, puts up a hand, and he says... Shift Supervisor Daeneryn, I presume you have an explanation for the random Goliath accompanying you currently.
I say
Of course
nothing.
I do.
I say nothing and just stare for him.
He says, would you enlighten me as to what that reason is?
He is a recent acquirement to my personal household staff. I figured he would be useful to... Well, I mean, look at him. He lifts large things.
Make another deception check with advantage.
I still say nothing, and even while everything's looking, just keep looking straight forward.
I like
26.
to imagine.
26?
Say 20. Jesus.
Well, I have a plus 12, and I've rolled, and I have advantage. I rolled high.
He kind of like... He looks at Oz, he looks at you, like, he has a little bit of a dubious expression on his face, and he says, very well. We shall have a discussion at greater length later about your apparent personal proclivities, but I will overlook this breach in security for now, as it does appear that the Goliath would be useful in apprehending an intruder.
Still just nothing, just a dead stare
He
straight up.
points at you and he says, it will be, not you, Brom. I guess he points at Brom. He says, be it on your head if your property causes trouble. And he dismissed, and he strides away towards like the outer perimeter. The Raifan like kind of like looks and follows after the commander, and those two elite guards like turn to you, waiting for orders.
Alar, since he's wearing armor, immediately salutes in Ignian fashion as commander leaves. Like a good soldier should.
But he put those two guys in my command.
Yep. The back of your mind whispers that their names are Qatar and Ardrith.
Good question.
Those
Both
first
male?
names or last names?
Both male. What's that?
So those first names or last names?
First names.
Did you two see where this doppelganger was headed?
One of them says, Iso Nadim, Commander, we were summoned from the barracks by the raising of the alarm from Private Raifan. Perhaps someone inside has seen where the intruder has gone. We can ask around.
Very well. I shall do that.
So you guys head into the warehouse, and downstairs, Alar you do nothing because it's not your turn. Walter, it is your turn.
I was gonna say you did it again.
I did it again. Walter, you silent spell. The alarm raises. The guys turn to you. Roll initiative.
Dude. Oof. That was an 8, do me.
Does you 1 worse than their 9.
Great.
However, they are surprised the first round, so they do not act. It is your turn.
You said there were 5 of them?
5 of them.
One of them looked like a commander of some kind? Or just engineers? And...
They all look like engineers. Like, they're
right.
wizards, essentially.
Alright, well, they can't use verbal components, so I'm going to Eldritch Blast one of them twice.
Alright.
It's a 14 and a 27.
Both of those are going to hit.
Are you kidding me? A 3 and a 1 for damage.
Ooh.
A 3 and a 1. You do 4 points of total damage to one of them.
Yup.
Us found
Okay.
5 gold outside, by the way.
Oh, it's found 5
My
blood.
God.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like taking elf teeth. Just like, give me your gold tooth. Mer.
Fine. I'm a silent vacuum of gold.
Okay. None of these guys can do anything in the silence spell. So the 5 of them rush forward 30 feet to get out of the silence spell, and then all 5 of them cast Firebolt at you. Ooh. 3, 4. Maybe one more d20.
I'm just gonna preemptively shield.
Okay.
Curl up in a ball.
19 is my new AC.
19 is the new AC? Okay. What is their spell attack?
21, 23, 26.
No, actually, 3 of them miss with your new AC. 1 of them does crit you, though.
Yes,
So
course.
you are going to take... two points of fire damage.
2.
2.
Ah, yes, Battle of the D10s. Here we go.
He did minimal damage times 2. That's fun. Okay. That is their turn. They do all start shouting, of course.
Oh, of course. Is it my turn again?
Yep.
Okay, I wasn't sure we were gonna cut back or not, but yep. Well, that went great. We are going to go ahead. So I have a question about my fun new spell. Is
You
this
can ask
an so I did make it say target.
Okay.
I did also say that the target can be a creature, an object, or a section of wall or ground. So this would be a single target. So I have, in the name of balance, I have screwed myself. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore that and go with ye old classic sickening radiance centered on
Alrighty.
myself.
On yourself?
Well, I can't cast Misty Step. They are in melee range.
They're not quite in melee range.
Okay. If they're not in melee
They're,
range,
they're like
I'm going...
10 feet from you. Like, they got outside of the silence
Sure.
and then stopped, because they're also using ranged spells. So, you can drop it and not hit yourself.
Okay. So I will do that.
5 con saves, right?
Yep.
Okay, nat 1. 6.
For every... Okay.
15. 19. 11.
The save is 17.
One guy makes it.
21 points of radiant damage, 1 level of exhaustion, and they are bright ass green right now.
Nothing happens if they succeed, right?
If they succeed, so one guy takes nothing, everybody else takes a level of exhaustion, so they have disadvantage on attack
No,
rolls.
everybody else takes a level of being dead, as 4
Oh.
wizards immediately get, they turn into like the skeletons in when the nuclear blast goes off in Terminator. They're like,
Okay.
and they turn into fried skeletons and collapse to the ground. You kill 4 of the 5 wizards.
Okay. Well, and then I'll just look at the last guy and say, shh.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh, I was so close. 15.
He goes, and tries to edge out of the radiant, so as not to die anyway, even though he's trying to surrender.
If he raises his hands and looks like he's like given up, I'm going to dismiss.
Like immediately drops.
I'll dismiss the creepy green light.
Okay, so he surrenders.
How much longer do you want me to have the scene?
So I think what I'm gonna say now is
I'm okay with cutting it here because I'm gonna question that guy real fast.
so up above, you guys have been like looking around, like you guys entered the warehouse, and you like just start to get the information from some people that are like, oh yeah, a dude that looked like shift supervisor Daenerys like went that way and went to the sub basement, and like gauge like that direction to when you then hear like a bunch of shouting for about 2 seconds, and then like from the door jam, there's like a of a very familiar colored light. All of the screaming stops, and then the light goes away, and it's quiet again. And like 100 people in the top of this warehouse are all looking at this door, and then they all like turn back to you, Russell.
Nothing to see here, folks. I'm not saying that for real in game. That's just me. Smile and wave, boy.
Jason was like, "You guys should trust me that I have a plan." Concedes to fuck us at every possible turn.
They are looking at you.
His plan was try deception for 1 second, and at the first sign of trouble, immediate violence. Oh, hang on 1 second, everybody. I'm getting a phone call.
Talk amongst ourselves for a second.
If anyone would like to, if chat would like, we can each give our mental state at this time. Alar's is cursing in every single language that he knows.
Zintrus is joining him.
Walter is downstairs and in his element and just
Quite proud.
Just proud of himself.
Mom is having an out-of-body experience.
His thoughts are 2 rocks banging together.
I thought for sure when like you were staring at that Ignian guard, the captain, that you were just imagining like suplexing that man off the tower. just like you're just except instead of that original guy, it's now this guy that's in front of you. Like I will drop you from a height you have never experienced.
That is Osrius's happy place.
I think about that all the time. Me, Brittany thinks about that.
You know what? I have been thinking about it. Maybe I should have taken that guy into my arms, tapped my magical boots, and then saying, "Please, you take me higher," and just drop him. Or you will breathe.
You raise me up so I can stand. Drop him from even higher.
Yes, while the rest of us are surrounded by 100 Ignian soldiers.
It's an angel from the sky. No, it's just Aldrius coming down with one man. You.
Brittany, how many more sendings do you have out of curiosity?
A few.
I'm just saying, like you can get information if you choose to.
Oh, no.
How many more chances does he get before Walter is left for dead?
Right now, what needs to happen is Braum needs to BS our way out of this room up here so we can go check out the basement.
I don't know how I'm going to be able to
look like the boss.
Technically, the goal we have here is if you saw my light was in the basement, I've clearly dealt with the basement. You don't need to deal with the basement now.
But everybody.
I
Yeah,
think
but
Brom-
everybody in the base
We
knows that
have
there's
to
something going
place
on in the
all
basement.
of the fertilizer and get rid of the bodies, which I assumed we were going to do in the basement after we went into the subvaults.
They
Right,
know
there-
those guys are dead. Who cares?
Okay, this is still
Trauma
containable.
one.
There's one still alive guy down there that you
It's
could
been more
totally.
than 10 minutes. I think he's dead.
Uh,
No.
He means in the basement.
No, in the
Yeah.
basement.
Oh.
I still have
What you meant in
one
the
still
bag?
alive
Okay,
guy
that
down
guy's
there.
dead.
I'm just saying, like, that can be the patsy.
well, okay. Suggestion. We now know where the intruder is.
That's my point. They're all
We
looking at Brom
we
right
say, okay, we're gonna. He is there. Seal. Cover the entrance. Nobody in or out except us. We go down there. We eliminate the 2 elite guards. We eliminate the other witness. We get what's in the vault. We drop the fertilizer. We use our spells to get out of this place. Before.
now. With a delay timer of.
Yeah,
explosion.
that's why I requested
Oh,
the
we need
alchemist. fund.
Rogers.
I can stand guard at the door.
No,
No, he said arson is his specialty. We need Rogers, and Rana wants revenge. We keep taking them out of their fun and ask them to join us on fun, and then we don't let them have fun.
How many
All I'm
sending
saying is-
spells can you cast?
I have a few.
All right,
Oh.
then you can use that to get them once we've taken care of the immediate witnesses.
Okay.
So this is still salvageable.
As long as nobody else just, I don't know, comes up with any other ideas or plots.
I mean, I was gonna just like open the door and like throw these guys in there to rot and then blow up the rest of the thing. So I can open the doors freely to the vaults.
I think you were only given the ability to open the one, though.
No, I was told specifically that there was. Let me check my notes / the thing that Matt sent. But I'm pretty sure I was informed that something useful was in Vault 6. Everything else needs to be destroyed. That's a Roomba. Is it in Walter stuff? Oh, found it. Okay.
I will be back in 1 second.
Okay, yeah, I can only access Vault 6 specifically.
You said there's some R&D or something in there.
Yeah, there's some R&D nonsense in there that should be helpful. So we can get that and leave the corpses inside the vault and then leave. Or you could capture Walter.
That's. Yeah, that's kind of what
I
was
mean,
thinking.
but like that doesn't allow us time to like.
Well, if we go down there and dump the evidence we need to explode, get the thing out of Vault 6, and then capture Walter, come out and like delay timer blow everything up. Should be fine, yeah?
My problem is, how do we tell this entire warehouse of people, hey, don't worry, the few of us will go check it out.
You're the boss. Who was
I mean,
sent
you
here
like
by
you
their
can
commander.
direct the 2 elite guards to go fuck up those dudes, and like have the rest of the party stand outside, and like if they don't come back, then you can like send the next group of elite guards down to like chase them.
You look like their boss, so like I don't think they're gonna question you. Matt just said they all turned to look at you. Like what WTF is going on here?
Yep,
Yeah, you can send the elite guards after me directly,
So
or after Walter directly, and just
I
be
think
like,
with your
okay,
powers of BSing,
like
you can do this.
like you know that you like presumably the person whose face you stole would know that there's only one way in and out of that room, and like you have to go through them, so it's like, yeah, just thoughts.
thrilling content for stream. This is,
Question being
long
now.
phone call.
Well,
That's,
other things to debate. This might be awful. Are we telling everybody to leave upstairs? Or are we letting them stay in while we?
Where was that, Walter?
Hmm?
I just saw you roll a deception check.
That was a while ago.
Oh, it just popped up for me.
Yeah, my game log here. I had to roll a deception check.
It just popped up for me.
Yeah, Flexus was the last one to roll before that. I had to roll a deception check against the guy that was insisting on my signature. Then I banished him, and then I initiative rolled against the other dudes, and then I Eldritch Blast for nothing, and then nuked 4 out of 5 guys into oblivion. And then one guy surrendered, and he's gonna get to see what he was trying to get at least temporarily. Question is, how do I get out of here? This is salvageable.
We will just come get you and arrest you.
All right,
I was gonna say, like,
let's,
you could-
let's fill the dead air. What's everybody's favorite NPC in the campaign and why?
They're all
Hold
dead.
on. I have an answer to this.
That's okay. They could be dead.
I don't have any as Zintrus yet.
Let me
As
check.
Rowan,
Let me
they're
check
all
my
dead.
inventory for heads.
Except for Tea Kettle.
I have a severed cultist head. I have a
Yeah,
severed
but you
monster
watched
head.
before. Oh, thank God.
Thank God Matt's back.
Okay.
I have sheet music of "Baby Don't Hurt Me" by Nigel Dewsbury.
Hell yeah. All right, I'm back. Sometimes your mother-in-law calls you and says, "Hey, it's kind of late. Is Emily home yet?" And you go, "No." And she goes, "I can't get a hold of her." And then you panic that your wife got in a terrible mobile veterinary car accident and is dead somewhere. So you spend 10 minutes making a bunch of phone calls only to find out that like she's totally fine and is on her way home now.
You're a better person than me.
and
That would
that's
have gone
the
to
story
voicemail.
of that.
I, for one, am glad that she's all right, and I'm sorry that you had that moment of panic.
Is your
Is that a
candy
frog?
crush-
Green screen grape.
Is that a frog, Jason? Is all the words that just came out of your mouth?
No, that would be a silly thing to ask.
Green screen
Clearly
grapes.
a grape.
It's clearly a grape, you absolute muppet.
Maybe it was
What?
it was a gummy frog. It's fine.
What were we doing? Everybody looked at the
What?
Everyone
just-
looked at Brom
just-
slash ship
the
supervisor.
microwave.
dinner.
The microwave just went off downstairs,
Yep.
and everybody looked at is now looking at you, Rob. That's where we're at. Okay.
God, this is my favorite spell ever.
What are you all looking at? Get back to work. I will take care of this.
Everybody gets back to work.
I guess the party, and I guess we have no choice but to take those 2 dudes.
Okay.
It's gonna be suspicious if we don't, right? That's the.
Yeah.
It's gonna be suspicious if we're just like, hey, wait by this door. No, we'll take them. We'll murder them once we get down, I guess.
Yikes.
I'm gonna stand outside the door. Okay.
Okay.
You're standing outside the door or inside the door?
Outside the door, like I said.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand outside the door with the blank stare still, just being that extra person.
Okay.
If anybody comes by, obviously I can answer, but they should know me by now. As
Just-
When I-
the Goliath who says nothing but is with you guys.
Yeah, when I see him like doing that, I will like pretend like I was like, and you guard this door, as I'm like,
Okay.
so I look like I'm in charge.
Sure.
Very, very much.
He's not making his own decisions.
Oh,
Thank you.
Roll for
Thank you.
Disaster is rating us right now. Thank you. You have no idea how appropriate that is.
Roll
That your name
for
is Roll for
disaster.
Disaster.
Hello, party of
Nice
4
Thank
from
you.
Roll
for
for Disaster.
Jason.
Thank you for joining us.
Nice to see you. It's a
Thank you
hot.
for joining us for our disaster.
It's a
Yeah,
hot
I'm
mess.
that's-
Raiden and
I
we
have-
Raiden.
I have caused problems again.
So,
It's always him.
speaking of those problems, Brahm, disguised as shift supervisor, Daeneryn, with Alar, Zintris, the 2 Ignian elite soldiers, Qatar and Adrith in tow. You guys enter through that door, close it behind you, leaving Osrius standing in front of it on the outside. Osrius to a very confused group of, like, military supply chain convoy guys just, like uncomfortably going back to loading, like, bags of grain onto, like, wagons and stuff.
Mind
You
your
guys,
business.
like, come down the stairs and find... Walter, are you still disguised as the other dude? Or are you Walter again down here?
Still disguised as the other dude. It's not concentration. It lasts an hour.
All right, so you guys come down the stairs.
As soon as I see them, I'm going to say, "I found him! I found the intruder!"
Right, so you guys come down
I'm
the
gonna point
stairs
it.
to see
Point
the guy that pointed at you outside and called you the intruder down here
like-
now. Go,
like-
aha!
You like this fucking place
and
PvP.
to complete the like the ensemble, there are 4 absolutely like microwaved corpses behind him, and one dude with his hands up, that as he goes like, "I found the intruders," he goes pointing.
What do you think I am, stupid?
Alar is just going to sigh very deeply,
We're on the stairs, right?
You're on the stairs.
and he is going to
I'm gonna-
draw his knife,
Oh,
and he is
I
going
try to push
to
the guard.
Okay, so
try and attack one of the elite
Alar
guards.
make an attack roll, and Zintris make an athletics check.
Jeez.
You're gonna push him down the stairs.
Son of a bitch. 12.
Do you have an advantage because he's not guarded
Yes,
and
he
flanked?
has advantage because you're surprise attacking him.
Athletics.
Thank the gods. 22.
22
You
will hit.
said-
Go ahead and roll damage.
You said athletics to push him down
Athletics.
the stairs? 17.
He will make a check with disadvantage. He gets a 6.
It's okay. The last thing that they knew in life was that they were doing their job and they found the intruder.
Okay, so
They were just doing what they were told.
23 points of piercing damage.
Okay, so Osrius.
Sorry, Nazi's arm.
Alar literally just goes and goes for the grab into the throat.
So Osrius, the door closes behind you. You're standing there. Everybody like kind of starts to go back to work, but is still very interested in like the really weird scene that is happening behind this door. And then a moment later, you hear like, and then you hear like, and then you hear like,
Armor clanking.
you hear like, and then you hear like, of like very definitely a bunch of stuff falling down the stairs.
Great.
And then silence. So Alar, you manage to like lower your guy silently onto the stairs and like pull your dagger out of his neck. The other guy, the other guy like falls down the stairs. And hang on, wait.
Broken.
Okay.
Alar's just gonna do the slow look
He
over at
falls
Zintris,
down the
like,
stairs like bang, 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 and then like one where like the Ignian engineers were like had that little area set up where they were like doing their work. One of the like stools from their work is there, and he gets like $1 Million babied on the like the stool as he goes down, and his neck breaks. So he dies from falling down the stairs. The other guy gets stabbed by Alar.
Now I will undisguise self myself and then look at the engineer again and go, "Shh, you want to see something cool?"
And that's
He
when
goes-
you empty out the bag with
This is where he soils himself. Poor guy. I'm just gonna like ignore him entirely and just go over to Vault 6.
I'm looking at the guy that's standing there with his hands raised, and I'm going to have prepped in my hand Firebolt and just glaring at him. I'm not letting it go, but just as a you keep your and I'm just nodding at him like good boy. Like I will blast you. If
You like you
say
like you
anything.
do this, and he says, I did not mean to criticize you, mademoiselle, but and he looks at the like extremely dead guys next to him, and then like the 2 dead guys at the bottom of the stairs, and he's like, I have no intention of doing anything that would.
I know.
Get me
I just want you
killed."
to stay quiet a little longer. Okay?
Brom, help me with these two guys.
Well, as soon as Walter opens the door, he's like, just gestures into the vault, and I'm gonna go check out the vault and
So
see
you
what's
head up. The
inside there.
paper that you were given has like the counter sigil on it.
Yeah.
You just like take that paper and like smack it against the door and like push a little bit of like your will through it, and it like illuminates the counter sigil, which then spreads out and like breaks the magical seals on the vault door, which you feel like the magic of them diminish, and you're then able to just like.
I'm gonna look at the.
Push it open.
I'm gonna look at the chalk on the other one. I assume they were looking at a different. They were trying to get into a different door.
They were trying to get into door 2. Yes.
I'm gonna look at the other one as amateurs, just to make the other guy that surrendered feel a little worse about himself for a little longer.
Okay. So
What's in door number 6?
the door swings open. Inside is a chamber that is about 10 feet wide by about 15 feet deep, with a like 12-foot ceiling. It is solid stone walls. The room is completely featureless. The only thing inside the room is a square marble pedestal in the center of the room, upon which a small object about yay big sits, with a slip of paper, like folded tent style, sitting next to it.
I'm gonna look at the paper, and then I'm going to take the object. But I'm gonna read the paper first to make sure it's not turbo trapped, and I don't immediately die.
Turbo trapped.
Look,
Okay.
I don't know.
You.
This episode brought to you by Turbo Trap.
Remember, you have 1 quarter to submit your traps before the government will come for you and everything you love and know.
There you go. So the piece of paper says, to set command word, hold object, and speak chosen command word. The object is essentially looks like a child's toy. It is a miniature that looks very much like a play model scale wagon with a little like horse pulling it, like a covered like stagecoach with a little horse pulling it. It is made out of, it turns out, like cast iron, it seems like. There's no further information forthcoming, if that's what you're waiting for.
Oh, no. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and pocket that, and we'll deal with the command word later, unless I need to do it right now.
Okay.
That can be a DM question out of game. Does Walter feel like he needs to do this right now before he leaves the room for it to take effect, or if this is a future problem?
Yeah, no, you can do that later.
So I guess can I take it in both my hands and set the command word?
Yeah.
Walter's going to set the command word to be activate, because I have no idea what it is.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put it in my pocket.
Okay.
Not in the bag of holding, in the pocket.
Easily done.
And as well as the slip. And then I will say, if you have anything you need to leave in here, we can put it in here. I mean, those 2 bodies out there are probably a good idea.
Sure.
Laura is quickly
Bodies.
stripping off the elite set of armor.
Okay.
And looking for papers for both of them, because why not? Extra disguises.
Yeah, we just start taking stuff and then putting bodies.
No, the bodies stay there. Zintris, do you want to call in Rogers?
Well, I mean, I wanted Rogers here because he said he likes arson and we convinced him to come with us, but we don't really need to, and that's a waste of a spell.
Fair enough.
We'll just apologize later, I guess. Anyone?
I'm going to
anything
turn. I'm going to turn to the engineer and I'm going to say, if you want to make it out of this alive, you are going to be the person we were looking for, and we're going to walk right out the front door. So
He looks at Zintris.
You heard him.
Oh, that is fine. I just didn't know if I was allowed to talk or not. You're still holding a firebolt spray in my face.
I smile at him really big and I go, I like you. You're smart to understand what the reality of the situation is. If everyone was like you, this would be a lot easier.
I have children, and I would like to see them again.
Well, now he has to live.
Walter's going to hold him or hand him a.
Hold him?
Hold him. It's like, I know, I understand. No. No, never mind. I was gonna say, I was gonna hand him a bottle of alchemist fire to hold for a second, but that seems like a mistake, so I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna make him hold a bag of fertilizer.
All right. You give him a bag of fertilizer.
So, did you guys have any time to put fertilizer down anywhere?
No, we had to come look for you.
I thought
The
it was
intruder.
I thought it was implied that I was the distraction, so you guys could go set the traps.
Your distraction ended up causing a lockdown.
Perfect. So they're all in here?
Yeah, for now.
Smash cut, Osrius, you are standing at the door, and there's now like a circle of guys like around the door, like, and the Commander Terran like comes back through the crowd up to the front of the group, and he looks at you and he says, Goliath, what is the meaning of this? Something clearly is going on in the sub-basement. Stand aside.
Yeah. Osrius is going to stand there for a minute and just hands in front, clasped on his wrist, and just say quietly, orders were given to stand here and let no one in and let no one out.
I am giving you new orders. Move or be removed. And he like snaps, and like 2 rows of those like elite guards like line up next to him.
Yeah. All right. I stand my ground, and I keep there. Being like, my orders were to let no one in and to let no one out.
He says, very well, I have no time for this, and something fishy is going on with the shift commander. Men, remove him. Kill him if you have to. And they move in. What do you do? I'm not gonna go into initiative yet. They come for you. These like
Okay.
this group of elite guards.
Well, if they're trying to come at me, let's see. I am going to. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stand there just for now, and seeing what they're doing. See if they're
So
actually
they
going to.
come up to you and they like pause for a second when they get like kind of within arm's reach.
Yeah.
And when you don't move, one of them you don't speak Ignian, I don't think, right? You don't speak
No.
Elvish.
Oh
one of
well,
them,
no, I do speak Elvish. I do actually
Okay.
speak Elvish.
Then you understand. The one of them goes like, "Oh, right now, no funny business." And 2 of them like come and like reach to like take your arms, and one of them has a set of like manacles that they're going to like clap you in irons.
All right. When that happens, then I am going to rage and immediately storm Aura Desert, which is a gain of 10 feet aura effect when you start your rage as a bonus action.
Do they make a dex save for half damage?
No,
Or
all
they just
creatures
take fire
anymore
damage?
take 3 fire damage.
3 fire damage. Okay, so these guys like reach out for you. The one says, "Oh, it's nothing funny," and they go to clap the irons on you, and then you just like, and just
His brow
all of
froze
the,
and
like-
fire
all
explodes.
of the like rocky crevices in your skin like illuminate with inner fire, and a just firestorm swirls off of you. The elite guards like are burned, and they like stagger backwards, surprised and injured by this. You guys, in the process of like coming up the stairs, are caught unawares yourself as the door explodes. As you guys are about halfway up the stairs, a wave of fire from outside like blows the door off its hinges, and it like cartwheels over your guys' head and like hits the ground on the basement before you, and you see Osrius just like where you left him in front of the door, but you can see like around him and like through his legs, like 10 of these like elite guards currently like in the final stages of like their like stagger animation as they're like, "Whoa!" and then they right themselves. You see that Commander Terran is like behind them. He is in the process of drawing a sword. Most of the like just workers are like clearing the area, and a big fight is about to break out. So now everybody roll initiative.
Woo!
Oh boy.
Hooray, 13. I did better.
Thank God I have an advantage.
Well,
What
yep,
is
that
it?
that would follow. Alar is just. This is going entirely to pot, so he's wrong-footed.
12. Did not roll great.
Who was 8?
Me.
I also have an 8.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
no! Whose
21.
plan was this? This is awful.
21 is Oz.
As Adam and I, through our cameras, just look straight at Jason.
Wonder how
We
got into
survived this.
predicament.
Alar is probably just gonna punch Walter. Just
Oh.
we made it.
Damn, we're in a tight spot.
Quick question: as the door blows off, do I have time before the initiative starts to do something? Not aggressive.
What are you trying to do?
I am gonna do ascending to Rogers at this point.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you do that.
Like, god damn it. I'll just be like to Rogers. Wait, Rogers still has one of our bags, doesn't
He has one of our bags.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Hey, Rogers, things are going sideways. No, of course. Take fertilizer, place around if you can, clear out.
You get back. Fertilizer has to go inside the building you want to blow up. The fuck am I supposed to do? He's got 2
I'm
words
not good at
left.
art.
Juice bag.
Well, I'm thinking.
He goes, his last 2 words, he's like, pickup? So, like, they can be, like, your wheelman out of here, but, like,
Yeah.
they're outside. Like, you gotta put
Hey,
the
I didn't know
fertilizer in this place to then, like, explode
I was
it.
wondering if they could explode like a wall. Was kind of my thought, like to cause like a
They'll try and figure some shit out, like,
yeah.
from
It
there.
was kind of. It was also kind of
you-
like
you've-
maybe cause some problems for us.
You've got, he's
How-
He's
they're
aware
in the
of
fight.
that. Yeah.
How tall are the ceilings in this warehouse? 30 feet? Sold. I have an idea.
Oh god.
That worked so well.
I'm bad with your ideas.
At this point, I don't care what I do. You have that's great.
Osrius, you are the first to react.
All right.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well,
There are 10 elite soldiers. The captain, the commander, Terran. The 10 elite soldiers have all taken 3 points of fire damage from you, and are functionally within melee range.
Okay. I immediately want to activate winged boots and try to grapple Terran and take him up into the air with me.
Okay, so you're gonna take a couple of attacks of opportunity as you like go up
That's
and
right.
like fly past those guys and grab him. So I'm gonna have the 4 guys closest to you make attacks of opportunity. What's their attack modifier? nat 1.
Okay, I am raging too by this.
Okay.
By
So you'll take half damage from these because these are like non-medical attacks. I got a 16.
That misses.
Okay. I got a 20.
Yeah.
And I have a crit, so you're gonna get hit twice. Osrius, you are going to take 3 damage from the non-crit. That's already halved.
All right.
So you'll take 3 damage, piercing damage from the non-crit, and you will take 7 piercing damage from the critical hit.
All right.
But you fly past. Go ahead and make a strength-based, make an athletics check to try and grab Commander Terran.
That is an 18.
Alrighty, you pretty easily just like fly up, like hook him under his the front of his breastplate and just like hoiks him up and fly up into the air with him.
Cool. Great. Does that count as a full action there? Am I up in the air kind of like waiting, or
yeah, I think that the grapple
like
and
the
movement with him
grapple up
takes
into the air.
takes your action, and to fly the distance and then fly up with him takes your full move action.
Okay.
Okay. So you're probably like 25 feet off the ground with him at this point, like near kind of the rafters.
Okay, I was about to say in the
Cool.
3 feet.
The wizard that you guys have in tow with you is going to use his turn to take the hide action and cower in the stairwell.
Tracks.
Figures.
He clutches his bag of fertilizer to his chest. Now the guards are going to go.
He's drawn a face
They
on
beat
it.
a 13? Oh no.
They did.
Not that it's hard.
They had a 16. Their initiative is a 16.
Balls.
So they are going to move in. Now, unfortunately for them, the rest of you guys are still in the stairs. So only 2 of them can, like, get to the stairwell. Osrius is up and out. Who is, like, I guess who's the first 2 on the stairs as you guys were heading up the stairs?
Don't
I'm
know.
probably
what our
one of
formation
them.
would be. Walter will be one of the first 2, just to take responsibility for this nonsense.
For your actions? Okay. So Walter and Alar, you guys are both going to take 2 attacks against you. So Walter, a 17 and over a 20 are the 2.
They both hit, shockingly.
All right. And Alar, a pair of 21s.
Yep, both are gonna hit.
Go fish.
I will uncanny dodge the. We'll say the second one.
Okay. You both take 14 points. Walter, you take 14 points of damage. Alar, you are going to take 10.
Okay.
As they slashed you with their swords. The 2 of them are then going to, like, they move in, they survey the group of you on the stairs, they, like, jab at the 2 of you guys, as they are then, like, backing back up to get out of the stairwell. So you guys can take, Walter and Alar, you can take attacks of opportunity against them if you'd like, but they are otherwise backing back 5 feet to the top of the stairs to, like, block you at the top of the stairs and not create a choke point.
One quick second.
Would they still count as engaged for the purposes of sneak attack, as they're attempting to?
They did not take the disengage action, so I'm gonna say yes.
Fantastic. So that is a 20 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay, cool. Casting time of 1 action only targets that creature. Whatever one he doesn't attack, I'm going to cast Frostbite on.
Do you have the, like, feature or whatever that allows you to cast a spell's reaction? Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It has to be a cantrip. It has to target 1 creature, and it has to be 1 action.
Is the frostbite the dex save one?
It's no, it's a con save 17.
Con save is what I meant. Con save fails. So go ahead and roll your damage, and Alar, what is your damage?
29 points of piercing damage.
Jesus.
I
Okay.
am pissed. So it's like, stab.
You
Just
right in
you
the throat.
basically like stick the knife into like the inside of his leg, into his femoral artery as he's like backing up the stairs. He gets to the top of the stairs and he like clamps a hand onto the bleeding wound. He's still alive, but like that wound is going to be a problem for him, so he continues to back off further and like backs off behind his allies and like gets away from you guys.
4 frost damage, and it has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Alrighty. That brings us to Zintris. So there's one guard like kind of at the top of the steps. The others are, sort of back there. Some of them are kind of looking at like the dangling feet of the commander as Osrius like lifts him up into the air. What's your move?
Don't know, because I can't see much. Hold on, let me check something. I hate that spell slots are a problem already because of all the scenting. I don't really think I have a choice in the matter. Whatever. I'm gonna save it for now because I don't want to get dead in the first round because I can. I'm just going to firebolt the guy I can see.
Okay, roll hit.
At the top of the stairs. 14 plus 7 to hit.
That hits.
Only 7 points of damage to him.
Okay. He like stunked by a firebolt.
And I just stay there because I was thinking of like running through, but I was like, I will be stabbed by all of them.
Okay.
And if I took disengage, then I couldn't go far. So I'm just gonna stay right here.
All right, Brom and Alar. That brings us to you guys.
I thought they had an 8.
Yes, we've reached that point.
Yeah.
I had a 13.
Oh, okay.
Did I? Oh, I didn't write you down in the initiative.
You skipped. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was like,
this
did
is
I have
this is my actual punishment.
This is your actual punishment.
For-
You should have actually gone before Zintris.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure. So
Yeah, I wasn't sure either.
cool. So Walter's gonna say shovel away and fly up on through that hole that the limp guy just walked through.
Okay, so that the other guy is gonna take a.
He has disadvantage from frostbite, so
he will take a disadvantaged attack of opportunity. The lower of the two is a
somehow 25.
no, is a 15.
It still hits, but whatever.
Oh, you take 7 points of damage.
Okay. I'm gonna go the full. I'm gonna go however many feet it is up
Okay.
to get out of the hole, out of the basement.
We'll call it 15,
How many feet is that
15
roughly?
feet out of the stairwell.
15. And then I'm going to go to one of the corners of the warehouse.
Probably
towards
can't
one of the
get to it.
corners.
How much movement speed you got?
The Broom of Flying has a 50-foot movement.
You gonna dash?
I'm not gonna dash.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go as far as I can.
Okay, so you can probably get about. So you're like, we'll say you're like roughly.
I want to be out of melee range, so I want to be another 10 feet up. So that's 25 feet of movement. I'm gonna do 25 feet towards the corner.
Okay.
But what I am going to do, if I can, if not, I'm gonna do it next turn. Is I'm going to grab a fertilizer bag out of the bag of holding and just like dump it out on the floor underneath me.
Yeah, sure. It's nothing prevents you from using your action to do that, so you are able to.
My action would be to fly up.
Oh, the
to
Broom of
activate
Flying was an action, so you'll have to use your action to do fertilizer shenanigans.
Yeah.
On an additional turn.
Yep. So I'm gonna Hammer Brothers tactics and just fly around, dropping fertilizer bags everywhere in the warehouse until I run out of fertilizer or HP, one of the two.
All right. Zintris just went. Now Brahmin Alar.
How many people
Probably just Alar.
just Alar.
Just like
because Walter's
Alar and
gone.
his interests kind of like near you, but like functionally nobody, because you can just like step around one of your allies on the stairs.
And we do not have any inkling that anything is going on outside, correct?
It's locked. The warehouse is locked down, and unless his interests shared it, like
No, I mean
we
like
don't know.
literally outside the door.
No,
What?
you can
Oh.
see there is 10
Door.
dudes like standing in front of the door to keep you guys from getting out. Like one guy is literally in the doorway. The rest of the guys are like arrayed behind him. You can like see
Cool.
that over the top,
Okay.
like over because the
I
door
missed
is
that. Alright.
blasted off.
Cool. So, in a 20-foot square of where many of those dudes
A
are,
20-foot square, you can get all of them.
I'm gonna cast Entangle.
Alrighty. They get
And they're gonna make a strength save.
10 plus 1. They get an 11. Their
Strength
strength
save.
Alright, so you. Is this with the band door, or is this just spell?
This is the band door, yeah.
Okay, so you. Boom! Strum the band door, and like the sound waves reverberate out. The like stone floor of the warehouse like goes like outward from you in like a ripple like on water, and as that ripple like cascades out and reaches the various like boots and pairs of feet of the soldier, the stone like bursts, and these razor thin like stringed instrument strings come up and like wrap around wrists and ankles and necks, and like immediately pull these guys down, and this is like kind of cry of like ah goes out through all the guys as all 10 of them are now like tied up in these entangling strings. Ilar, what are you doing?
Yes, I am making sure that the guy doesn't have a chance to attack Brom, so I'm gonna go after the one that got
top of the
minorly
stairs?
injured. Yep.
Alrighty, he is not technically engaged when you get up to him because nobody else is.
That's fine. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does
Is
not
he
hit.
restrained?
He is restrained. You have advantage.
Oh, okay.
Not engaged, but restrained. So same.
Same.
Same. Okay. With advantage, 20.
20 hits.
Thank you, Jason.
So yes, that is a sneak attack.
Oh yeah, he can sneak attack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank
So he
thank
takes-
Brom for the strings.
Well, thank you for pointing that out, though. 25 points of piercing damage, and I'm going to activate the false life ability that Magic Blade gives me
Alrighty.
to gain a whole whopping 5 temporary hit points because gods know I'm going to need them.
So you basically like, run to the top of the stairs and like kind of like hop off the last step and just ram this dagger down into the piece above.
Oh, at this point,
Right.
it's full on, so I've drawn the rapier. So
Oh, okay,
it's-
it's the rapier. You just he stays on his feet and kind of like grabs hold of your arm as he's like trying to like force the blade back out of his chest as he struggles with you, but he is still up.
That's fine.
Terran, Commander Terran is gonna go. Osrius, you have him like up in the air. He is going to. He's gonna take his sword out the rest of the way from his sheath.
All right.
And he like grabs one of your forearms to like brace himself as you're like holding him, so now he's like holding onto you, and he just tries to take his long sword and like kind of angle it and just shove it up into your rib cage as you're like holding him. So he's gonna make an attack against you. 17 plus hits, I assume.
Damn, it does.
You take 11 points of piercing damage. You'll half that to 5.
Halved.
Halved, and he'll make a second attack, which will not hit. He's not able to get the sword like out and angled again to try and like knife you in the ribs a second time.
All right.
But he just like stabs you, and is like hanging onto his feet or kind of like dangling in the air as the momentum of his stab kind of sends his body like akimbo as you're holding onto him by his breastplate. That is his turn, which brings us back to the top of the order with you, Oz.
All right. Well, what I want to do then is immediately take him down to the ground and as fast as possible with the vicious great axe. Like pretty much going at velocity into the group of people, like maybe not into them completely, but in front of so there's one guy in front of the door and there's like a group of people surround him. So behind the dude in front of the door,
Sure.
in front of the group.
All right.
Bringing him
So-
Casting
down.
Meteor Storm.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll against him. The axe comes out with one hand. You're like towards the floor. You basically like hit the ground and just like slam him into the ground. I'll give him an extra. He'll take an extra d6 of bludgeoning damage from like the extra force of you like throwing him into the ground, and then you can make your attack roll.
Okay. 19.
19 hits.
Okay. And
He takes 12 points of damage from hitting the ground.
and then I didn't even get a d12 out. Ooh. And that is 12 points of damage there. And just on top of that, I'm going to bonus action a 10 feet aura of fire, and he takes a 3 damage on top of it. And
everybody
yeah,
in
as
10
do all
feet.
the other guys.
Yeah, everybody in 2
Jesus.
feet.
All right, Oz just did 50 points of damage in one turn.
You added your like extra rage damage, right?
Yeah, that 3 points was already added onto
Cool.
the melee.
Alrighty, so you hit the ground with him. You hear the like wind goes out of his out of his lungs, and then you hit him with the axe, and he's like, ah! And then unfortunately, like he his diaphragm releases just in time for him to like inhale a mouthful of like fire air as he goes like. He's still like.
God damn it!
Like he struggles to like try and get to his feet, but that was not ideal for him. That is going to bring us to the wizard, who is going to evaluate the situation and back off further into the basement. The guards. The guards are restrained. The spell that you used is Entangle, right?
I was about to ask, can it be broken by an attack on the outside, from the outside? Is it concentration or what?
No, it has to. Make a strength save to free itself, but it is difficult turn, so they can still move. I was just double checking if they're rooted in place or if they can move.
They are restrained, so
They're
their movement
restrained.
is 0. So if they fail, but they can use their action
Oh,
this
that's right,
turn
yes,
to break out.
Yes. It is difficult
so-
terrain if you've succeeded. So they're
Yes.
restrained. Okay, so I'm gonna have.
Is that double the movement speed or just half?
It halves the movement speed if they're
Half the
in
movement.
difficult terrain.
I'm gonna have 5 of them are not gonna bother to try and free themselves this turn. They just sheathe their swords and pull crossbows. The other 5 are gonna try to.
How did they get crossbows?
They've had crossbows. They're fully armed soldiers.
Where were they hiding the crossbows? Up their ass?
What's the What's the your spell save, Brom?
18.
What's that?
18.
18. Okay, so 2 of them definitely succeed. These 2 don't, and the final one does not. Okay, so 2 guys successfully free themselves from the restrained. and then 5 guys fire crossbows into your party. I think, based on the flashiness of the display, 5 crossbows are coming at Oz.
Okay. No, that's fair.
This man just made a human meteor out of their boss. They're gonna focus you for a minute.
No, I
So that is 5 crossbow attacks against Oz. Very low numbers on all of these.
God. Thank God raging deals with piercing.
The highest.
Oh, they're psychic crossbows. Sorry.
The
Right?
highest is a 16.
No, that doesn't hit at all.
Okay, so
They all miss?
So here's what I think happens: is they like pull crossbows, they fire them. The like tail end of your like fire pulse, just like the crossbows just hit it, and they like, and a bunch of like ash and flipped pieces of crossbow just like scatter through the area.
Damn.
And that is going to be their turn. That brings us to Walter.
What loser?
How many items at a time can I pull out of the bag?
I would say
That's a good question.
you can use one action to reach into the bag of holding and like command something to come out. How you utilize that action is up to you.
I am going to use my action to command a. How many? Okay. I would know how many I have, right? How many fertilizer bags and how many alchemist fires we have. Also,
Yeah.
do we have kegs of alchemist fire or flasks of alchemist fire?
Flasks.
Flasks.
Wasn't a flask yet.
Kegs is from Spelljammer. It does a lot more damage. Okay. So I am going to command the bag to dump out 2 bags of. Sorry. Did you say how many we had of each?
I think we established you guys had like several pallets of it, right?
Yeah.
So a pallet is probably like. Hang on. Let me do some math real quick. How many pounds in a ton?
2,000.
How many 50-pound bags of fertilizer do I
Probably
have?
40 bags. There's 40 bags of fertilizer in a pallet. We'll say you had 5 pallets. You have 200 bags of fertilizer on you.
And how big is this building?
It is 30-foot ceiling. It is about 150 feet long, and it is like 60 feet deep-ish.
And it's hollow, or is there center structural supports?
Center structural supports.
I'm going to, instead of going to the, I'm going to go to the corner with 50 feet of movement. I'm going to drop 1 pallet
Okay.
at a corner.
So you go a pallet of fertilizer, and like a machine gun, it's just like like a bunch of bags of fertilizer just shoot out the front.
Well,
of the bag
I was hoping it was just the entire pallet, but it's
No, they come out in because they can only fit through the orifice of it, so they have to
Alright.
come out one at a time. But they come out like.
I have become Death Destroyer of Worlds. Here's my fertilizer minigun.
You are literally slinging bullshit, man.
You become a farmer biplane, just spreading bullshit.
I'm gonna yell Zintress corner. In case I assume she's still like inside the thing.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna yell that out loud.
Okay.
Actually, what other languages do I know you speak?
Celestial, Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, Elvish.
So in Dwarvish,
Mhm.
I'm going to yell Zintress corner, like hoping that like either you or somebody else can like get ready to huck some kind of fire at that fertilizer pallet over there.
Are you flying away from that corner, I hope?
My next turn I will be, but
Okay.
I'm 20 feet in the air, and I don't know how many feet of movement I used to like Dumbo drop the fertilizer.
Can he get out of that corner?
Was it all 50?
No.
Right,
We're
yeah,
gonna get
then,
real. We're gonna get real loose with the distances
so-
for this part.
Okay.
So basically, like Walter's going to like try to collapse a section of it with the hopes that like the fire will collapse the rest of it on its own. So corner, center, corner is kind of the triangle I'm aiming at,
Okay.
and then any other pieces I can get towards the middle, I'll probably hit multiple center beams if I
Make
can.
a perception check, Walter.
Oh, good. I have a +0. 14.
14's good enough. As you're up there, you begin to drop fertilizer. You kind of like you take stock. You turbo clipboarded through here the first time, and things have been a little hectic since. For the first time, you really start to take stock of what is in this warehouse, and it kind of dawns on you like, oh right, they're using it as a military depot. And then you kind of look, and you're like, they're moving munitions. And there are several wagons currently in the process of being loaded that absolutely have, like, the powder that you know is used for, like, siege weapons and cannonballs. So there is, like, a pretty sizable amount of, like, already explosive shit in this building.
Rat.
That is.
I already used my action. Hold on. Do I have a bullshit bonus action? Let's find out. Actions, bonus actions. I'm not gonna shillelagh my ride right now, but at this point, it's fine.
Alright.
You know what? I'm gonna shillelagh the shovel. I'm riding it. I might as well. It lasts a second. It's fine. I have an extra.
Zintrus,
why not?
You're up.
I hear that, and I'm just like, oh god, okay.
You also hear the rhythmic thump of what can only be high velocity bags of fertilizer striking the floor.
Yeah.
Citrus corner. Oh no.
At this point now, because like we got to get out of here before everything goes boom, I am going to run up the stairs and as far out as I can, trying to like skirt my way around the guys that are entangled at the top.
You're gonna take at least a couple of opportunity attacks.
That's fine. Avoiding as many as I can, but
you'll get hit once. And you take 7 points.
That's fine. So as soon as I'm around all of them, I'm going to look for the corner and just double check that Walter is clear. And he said,
he's
"Do
at
it."
the other corner, so he's fine.
I dumped out stuff at a corner and then moved on somewhere else.
So in Dwarvish I yelled now, like confirming like we're blowing this up now, while we're in the building.
Can I respond as a free action?
Yeah.
Fire away.
Firebolt at the fertilizer.
Alrighty, roll to hit.
20 to miss.
Say, what's the AC of a bag of fertilizer?
Yeah.
About 5.
Okay.
22!
Funny enough, I rolled a 5, but I have a +7 on firebolt. So,
Okay.
Hey,
so it's 2d10. That's a 10. That's a
it's a bit-
9.
Just
Nice
for
damage.
just for no particular reason, who's still in
Yeah.
the stairwell?
And the-
Ayla, right?
From-
And the wizard.
From Ayla. And the wizard's
Yeah.
in the basement.
Okay.
yeah, the wizard is under the stairwell, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's down.
He moved down the basement.
He's down the hall.
They in the basement, yeah.
He's backed up.
I feel bad, but not that bad. You guys will be fine.
Walter on the shovel, flying away from the scene of the
Cool
piles of
guys,
fertilizer.
don't look at explosions.
A bunch of guys like trying to peel their way out of these like entangling strings. Zintrus like the fire like curls around your fingers, shoots off in the direction of the corner of the building. It goes like as one guy's like in the fight, it goes like through his arm. Like Osrius is in the process of like putting his axe into the boss again. Like like the firebolt goes past him. It's I feel like this would be a good time for like some like classical and be like
That's what I wish I missed with you narrating all of this.
It hits the fertilizer like a little like gout of smoke and like flame come off of it and nothing happens. And then you see like as the corner of the building like boom explodes, like flaming bags of unexploded fertilizer come flying out where they explode in midair, causing this chain reaction. Like, a piece of something hits one of the support beams on its way past and just, like, snaps it in half. Like, a fiery piece of debris lands in one of the wagons that Walter had clocked. That explodes. That starts out, like... So, I need everybody who's not currently in the stairwell to make a dexterity saving throw.
Currently not in the stairwell?
So
Anybody not in the stairwell.
Oh, I get an advantage on dexterity.
Alright, I got a 19. I'm sure the DC is higher than 20 at this point, but...
What?
Oh,
26.
26. And Oz, you got what?
But with even that dexterity, advantage on dexterity, I rolled a 2 and a 3, so I don't think
okay.
it really matters.
So... no, DC was 18.
I got a 19.
So you guys will take half. Oz, you'll take full damage. But a
yeah.
good chunk of this is going to be fire damage, which I believe you are resistant to.
Yeah, Oz is fine.
Oz takes
Yeah,
half
I
and
am
is resistant, so you take a
resistant.
quarter
Yeah.
of this damage.
No, he takes half the fire damage. And
He ends up taking half
So
anyway.
we have to figure that out
Yep.
because he's raging too, so there's some other shit to figure out in there.
Yeah, it's only raging is only 2 actual physical damage, so bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. I do get a resistance though to fire since I am Stormlord is
it's
effectively, if it is halved. Yeah.
So
Okay.
effectively it is half.
Nice.
Okay. So
This is well
bludgeoning
just then.
damage. 19 bludgeoning damage. So if everybody is having it, because you guys succeeded and Oz is resistant, y'all only will take 9 bludgeoning damage.
Rad.
And then 18 fire damage, halved to 9. For everybody, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Alar and Brahm, you guys just see like fire goes across. The initial blast goes off. The warehouse is now on fire and collapsing, continuing like smaller chains of explosions are going off. Oh my god. You know who has to roll?
Oh, the guys.
All the guys
And the guys.
who have disadvantage because Brahm has them restrained.
Teamwork.
They do.
Great.
War crimes for teamwork.
Great.
Now, you know what? Just forget it. They failed.
Yeah. They prove that. They're no
I think
unstable,
restraint
they're
automatically
fighting
fails
alive.
dex saves anyway.
No disadvantage, but
They all take 36 points of damage. Okay.
just watch a man on fire like attached to a burning pile.
See
No,
just, like,
actually-
knock him in the head and, like knock him out.
What the hell is going on?
The only one that dies. There's only two of them die. The guy that Alar stabbed his femoral artery in the beginning, and the guy that Zintris and Walter like blasted a bunch. Both of those guys die. All the other guys are quite badly like blown up, but they are all still alive. Including Commander Terran, who is on the ground like.
How the fuck is he still alive?
He's a little better off than everybody because he was already on the 3rd step of stop, drop, and roll when the fire went off. So all he has to
He
do
also has Oz over
he
him.
just starts to
so-
roll around to put himself out.
Oz
The other
also
guys
kind
are
of
all like,
covering
ah!
Just holding a man on the ground while he burns to death is great.
Okay. That was
That was a Jesus.
Zintris'
That was
turn.
the sentence, right? You guys did this, not me.
I got 4 more pallets.
Brahm and Alar.
Dimension door.
Ayla. Wait, no. Aylar's going to.
Alar's realizing he shouldn't have let interest in the group. Moving on.
No. This is all Walter's fault. Everything that follows is just.
I blame this all on Walter. We're having a big sale on everything. Fire.
Alar is going to open his bag of holding. Bodies? and just point it behind him to dump out the.
I thought we dumped those in the vault.
We hadn't gotten.
Oh,
to
not
that.
okay. Gotcha.
You just hear like as you turn and you see the one wizard with his bag of fertilizer as you just as a bunch of bodies fall down the stairs on him. He's like, "What is wrong with you people?" He throws the fertilizer down and he just runs to the far end of the.
This is the worst thing. This
Yeah,
is like,
He needs to stop running to the wrong end of the basement.
Yeah, Alar's
Well, he's
gonna
not
say,
running
"You might
towards
wanna
you
come
guys,
back.
that's for
There's no
sure."
other way out of here." And
You just hear
it's all
incoherent
coming
French
down.
getting quieter down the long end of the hallway into the basement.
Well, maybe he'll be lucky and live. Ugh. That's Alar's action. He's gonna look at Brom and go, "Hell of a Tuesday, huh?"
If we survive this, Walter, I'm gonna kill you.
Get in line.
What are you guys doing?
yeah.
Alar did his action. I don't know what
Is
Brom's
there anybody
doing.
left alive? Do I have
Yeah,
to do anything?
all of the guys are still alive.
They're alive and entangled in your nonsense and also on fire. So like,
and we're also
Oh,
in
I
a
thought
burning
we had
building
said that
right
they
now.
just died. But I
No,
guess
they're
Two of them died.
they're
The
alive.
rest of them are still alive.
Uh,
Yeah, the building is
like,
about to come down on your heads.
I think we just run.
you can dimension door. I mean, not you don't have to, but like you can.
If I dimension door it, we'll break concentration on those dudes.
Well, they're already
no,
screwed.
it
They're
doesn't. No, you
Dimension
can
door's not
casting a
How about he just
non-concentration
doesn't-
spell doesn't. I mean, like you don't
Oh,
have to do it,
I
but
was
like
assuming I was assuming dimension door was concentration.
No.
I'm gonna cast dimension door, and you know what? I can take one person.
you gotta take the guy that ran away. I mean, Alar's the
The
only one
only
with
guy
you
in
right
your
now.
reach right now is Alar. Everybody else is out of the stairwell.
If you want to go get him, go get him.
No, I don't care about that guy.
Fair enough.
Just imagine, they're just, running around in this empty hallway, and he's like, "No, get away!" And Brom's like, "I'm trying to help you!"
Let me help you.
Slapping each other.
Wait, is Brom still disguised as the supervisor?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
standing there. You're like, yes.
Yeah, as far as anybody else knows, the real supervisor went to go check in, and that everything's on fire. So,
Hey, you're in the clear.
though I guess the supervisor's body is now in the tunnel.
Which is going to be, buried by rubble and fire and
Do we
Everything.
care about that guy?
No.
At this point, I care about getting out of this alive.
Not really. I mean, it's up to you, man.
We've killed a lot of people. It's all for
This is the
themselves
part
right
where
now.
Brom just
We
saves
need to get
himself
out.
and leaves Alar behind.
I mean, that would be fair as well.
We need to get her.
I think you got evasion, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna dimension door at Alar 9.
Alright.
To how
500 feet.
we can get to the other outside of the wall, right?
You could get almost back to the tavern with a 500-foot hop.
All right.
Okay.
As far as we can go.
All right, so you poof, appear near the tavern again. Make a perception check as you reappear outside the tavern.
Both of
Oh
us.
god.
Yeah, sure.
11. I rolled a 1.
17.
Brom, on the 17, you hear something as you reappear. It's not quite near you guys, but it is off towards the it's back towards the depot, over the sound of it exploding, and there's fire. You hear polka music. And you look,
It's just
and rounding the far side of the fence, like, into the depot, with, like, dudes scattering in, like, every direction, diving out of the way. Rogers is at the wheel, is at the reins of, like, the cart. Like, Dr. Strongfast and Henrietta and Hoover are, like, he's like, and Carlisle and Rana are on the top of the covered wagon. Carlisle he's figured out the same trick that Walter did. He's got a bag of holding under his arms, and he's just like, boom, 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 shooting fertilizer bags, and then Rana is lighting them on fire with magic. And they're coming, like, caroming towards the side of the building where, like, you guys entered from, like, as, like, the wheelman.
This is literally everything I wanted.
Yeah, we really.
I'm gonna look over at Brown and go.
Bro,
Do you think we have enough time to go back and get drunk before we have to sleep?
Is there anybody like around?
Yeah, like all of the, like, townspeople are kind of just gathered, like, watching this.
So if this elf turns into a half-orc, people are gonna notice.
Probably.
I'm confident that's the least interesting.
That is the least interesting thing happening in the vicinity right now. Yes.
I'll hold it for a little while in case we need it. I turn to Alar and I go, well, we're gonna find out.
Okay.
What kind of roof does this warehouse have, out of curiosity?
Not anymore. That kind of.
That is it. What kind of roof? The roof
I don't know what I was
no.
hoping for, but that's.
It has a past tense roof.
Next roof.
Yes, the roof is divorced.
Okay, Taryn is going to try and get up and flee. Osrius, you can take an attack of opportunity as he, like, pushes himself to his feet and starts to run.
Okay. I'm gonna try to just stab him down with a javelin.
Oh shit! Okay.
In place.
Oh, okay. Then make a melee attack with the javelin.
Oz learned to spell hold person. It involves one javelin as the component part.
Exactly. I have 3 of them. Why not use them? Okay.
Guys, I found spell slots. They're long and pointy.
That is a 19.
That hits. Roll damage.
Oh, D6.
It's a spell slot. This is where I take this and I slot it into you.
Right. Okay. Here, let me roll. Just let me. Okay. Well, it's not letting me roll on here. Okay, that is a. Oh, I have one right here. That is a 4, 8, 9, 10, 11.
He gets up, like, puts his hands under him, like, pushes himself up to his, like, hands and knees, pulls 1 foot up, gets, like, the 1 foot up under him, and then begins to, like, boost himself to his feet. And then you spike him back into the ground with the javelin. And he just collapses face first, dead, impaled into the ground.
Also, bonus on that 3 points of fire damage.
Okay.
On everybody at that point.
I don't know if
it's gonna
those
help.
guys notice that they get more on fire. They take that damage, but, like, they were already, like, being actively fired. So, like,
well, it's still 3 points of
they take
damage.
They take the 3 points of fire damage, but the level at which they are like, "Ah, I'm on fire," does not noticeably change.
That's fair. At that point too, my next actions is just trying to get up and out of this building.
All right.
So
easily enough. You just fly through the open hole where the roof was a minute ago. Cool.
Get out of here.
All right. At this point, let's save ourselves some time here. The remainder of the people in the building, being Walter on the broom and his interest on the ground, are you just, like, getting to the exits?
Yeah, if Oz flies out and Walter's flying out. So just shrug and like walk away from all the people that are entangled and burning alive, and just kind of like casually walk out of the building.
Sure.
By casually walk out, I assume it's
I'd
running
piss
for
on-
your fucking life.
Well, yeah,
Sinjis is like, I'd piss on you, but I left my shiwi at home.
yeah.
I mean,
that
in
just-
the like, you pretty effectively are able to like just get mixed up in the chaos because like
Yeah.
you kind of look like anybody else like in
yeah, I
this
fit in
vicinity.
here, so I'm just
So you
ducking
just sort
and
of
running.
like get yourself a way out.
Yeah, Walter will. There. I guess if there's no purpose in shooting out any more fertilizer, to burn the rest of it down,
If I see a rogue bag of fertilizer right before I leave and everyone's clear, I'll shoot it. But otherwise, like,
I mean, I'd be shooting fertilizer bags into actual fire at this point. It's not like I would be, but yeah. So I'm gonna do one thing before I like evacuate entirely. I'm going to fly up above the burning thing, and I would like to do something a little weird with my dancing lights.
Okay.
I would like to attempt to make the Moxham symbol with the dancing lights over the burning.
I'm going to allow it. And we're not going to talk about the Lord Voldemort Dark Mark implications of what you've just committed, but we will.
Yeah, no, it's not a war
so
crime.
you
if
like
it's-
fine.
before
I would mold earth it, but like the earth is on the ground and not in the sky, so dancing lights is the next closest option.
People can't see it on the ground. It has to be cool in the sky.
I want to just backtrack really quick, and I will yell down to the basement. You have like a minute, dude. Hurry up, and then I'm leaving. Like I'm yelling down on the wizard. Like you have a minute. Like we're all gone. Like
God, the
he
wizard.
has children, but like after that, like teach their own. I'm out, and I'm leaving.
He was
A lot
granted the
of-
free
a lot
will
of those guys
to
probably
survive
had
this
children.
one.
Don't. He's the
Well,
one who
look,
talked
Don't
about this.
No,
like that.
that's
Lot of
actually
these
it's actually
guys
fun fact. Nobody in the Ignian Empire has children. They
Oh, great.
they reproduce asexually. None of them have families. None of them have children. They are faceless, high fantasy Nazis. And
Except for that one wizard guy who has children.
no, he was lying to try and get you to save his life.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm giving him a minute, but that thing's gonna.
he's
burn
holding a
first.
bag of
He
fertilizer.
doesn't
Oh
have
no, he
children.
dropped
He
it.
has a
Is-
foot fetish.
Unless he drops that
Oh,
bag of fertilizer, like that's on him.
He dropped the bag of fertilizer in the stairwell. Just hope the fire doesn't get down there.
It's on him. I'm not looking stick around to find out, and I'm leaving.
Okay, all right. So you guys like.
Look, you
Osrius-
gotta send a message to these people. They don't understand.
Osrius, Walter, you guys are like in the air. Zintris, you're on the ground. You guys all three see like the party van comes like
We hear the party van, I imagine.
the horses come racing around. You see Rogers Zintris spots you and like pulls the reins over towards you guys. They slow down a little bit as they like come past
I
you.
just reached out for Carlisle.
Carlisle just
Autograph.
like whoop and just grabs you and like pulls you, still moving onto the wagon. And as Rogers is like cracking the reins, he's like, "Okay, where's the other jamokes? We need to get the fuck out of here."
Taylor is going. He's going to
Can I do a perception check?
time it, and he's going to grab Brom.
I got
And
a.
he's going to use his cloak to cast Dimension Door to get us into the cart.
Oh, poof, you guys like. It's a little bit jarring because you went from not moving to into the cart, so you like appear in the cart and then like.
I see them and then I see them disappear and then I feel them land in the cart. I'm like, they're here.
And
So I got like a 19 perception.
Out,
Rogers is like-
please!
Rogers is like, he's like, okay, he's like, we have everybody.
I point up to Oz and Walter, and I just flag Oz and Walter to come down.
And the
I don't know
definitely
how-
not Dark Mark that's floating above the thing for a minute.
Okay, yeah, you guys landing in the wagon.
I'll fly
Yeah,
along. I'll fly alongside. I think.
No,
I
I'll
think
land
this-
in the wagon.
All right, Oz,
Yeah,
you land the
I
wagon.
think I have
Osrius,
50
Walter,
feet,
you
yeah.
like fly. So they like come ripping out the wagon. The wagon like goes up on two wheels as you guys go around like the corner out of the depot and like
And this
slams
is how
back
we
down.
die. Oh, no, we
and
don't
Rogers
die.
like whips the reins and you guys like bolt like a shot out of town to the north. A bunch of townspeople are just like standing in the streets, like watch you go. You you see like one guy as you go past goes like.
Taylor sticks a thumb out the back of the cart.
However, the other thing that you see is that from the depot, at least some response to pursue you has been mustered, as several horse-drawn wagons and like single horse riders like come out of the burning depot and begin to give chase. Rogers like whips the reins and he's like, "Oh boy, we got company!"
Of course we do.
We're still in the town, or are we out?
We're still like in the town. You're like winding through the main road to get to the north side of town and like get out of Dodge.
Walter's gonna land on the top and say Zintrus round 2, and then I'm gonna try to I'm just gonna bag of fertilizer and try to like.
Anytime he throws fertilizer over them, I'm firebolting it.
Rana and Carlisle start doing the exact same thing at the same time.
Just like one at a time, so it's like just landmines that they have to try to dodge.
Dude, I don't have a short bow. Rana, can I borrow your hand crossbow?
Okay,
Thank
comes
you.
down, hands it to you.
Alar's gonna just try and if a single rider or a cart comes up, he's gonna try and pick off the driver or rider.
So like crossbow bolts like pick off a guy, he like falls off his horse. You guys are not as effective as like hitting and imploding the fertilizer bags like in the like rapidly moving cart. You have more frequent success just like lobbing a 50-pound bag of fertilizer into a guy, like, which pretty much does the job. Like, like he takes a fertilizer bag to like the head and face and like it's whipped backwards off of a horse. You begin to like thin out a lot of the pursuit, but you still see that there are like several caravans behind you, and the town seems to be like the military presence of the town seems to be like organizing. You hear like alarm bells and like flares are going up. As you like round the last corner and like head out through the somehow miraculously still open north gate of the town and like out onto the open road away to the north of the town, you see the like several pursuing wagons like still coming after you, and behind you there is all of a sudden a like Walter's creepy green light just like slams over the portcullis to the gate behind you guys, and a bunch of just like horses and wagons just like all like crash as a bunch of people get microwaved. And like a big jam up of like wagons and stuff blocks any further pursuit from the portcullis. Walter, make a perception check.
Goddamn right I am. I'm out of spell slots. Perception. Oh, it's a solid 3.
Solid 3. The fuck?
That checks out.
I look at Walter really confused.
Yeah, good thinking, man. I was gonna try and web them there.
I was gonna thunderwave that, but good job.
Yeah,
Nice job,
definitely.
Boy.
He's like Walter's like looking at his hands like shake the shovel a little bit.
Pelt off into the darkness. So you change your music.
Dang, of course I got a freaking 3 on that. There's somebody else out here. I want to know who it is. I got questions.
I have a fair idea of who it might be, but
Papa?
The the group of you escape from this incident. You sort of like go off on like a side road and take some winding paths and get away from the activity. Again, you kind of like pull an all-nighter moving away, but you seem to evade any pursuit from the town, and you move deeper into the Ignian Empire. Though after sort of that little stunt, you now really have no choice but to like avoid civilization of pretty much any kind, outside of like the very smallest settlements, as like nothing about your like activities or escape from that town will allow you to travel incognito any further in the anywhere in the Empire, even with your fake documents.
Damn. Really?
Yeah, that was. We just destroyed an Imperial military depot, and we're seen.
Look, Walter destroyed the military
Look.
depot. From all we know.
I'm okay with this.
Roger's like, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. In certain lines of work, that kind of reputation that we just earned ourselves is extremely profitable.
Oh, really?
I smile at Rogers.
Boss said it was fine.
Alar
just
will
doing work for the
return
company.
the hand crossbow to Rana with thanks. Okay, Walter. Besides the massive property damage, what the hell did we get?
This piece of paper, and also this tiny metal thing that went with it. Once we have an open field, I'm going to set
you're
it
able
down.
to like you kind of pull over. You're sort of in a sheltered clearing off of the road. You know, probably 20 miles away from the town at this point.
Yeah, but once we have like a clear, I'm just gonna say activate and try to trigger whatever it is.
The
Open sesame.
you place this little object on the ground. You say activate, and it immediately begins to grow in size, and it continues to grow until it is a fair sight, about a half size larger than your current wagon. What appears, what rises up in front of you, is a full-sized, rather ornate stagecoach. And I'm putting a picture of it on stream. I will also, for those of us who do not have the stream open, I will drop it in Discord for you in 1 second.
I've seen it.
Thank you.
It's now your background. Now it's your foreground.
It's in front of my face right now.
It is currently. in
Look
front
at
of
your DM. Back to the cart. Look at the DM again. Back to the cart.
Does Walter recognize this?
No.
Okay.
It's a cart.
And see.
Behold, a horse and cart.
A horse-drawn fancy carriage.
There is no horse attached to it currently. I will tell you that.
Ah, okay. Fancy
I
carriage.
thought the miniature had a horse attached to it, so I wasn't
The
sure.
miniature does, but when it goes to full size, it does not have a horse attached to it.
Gotcha.
Okay. There is a picture in chat for
Thank you.
this.
Ooh.
What you have acquired, if I can find it.
We've acquired some drip.
Yeah. The item that you have acquired, which you now, like, as you unfold the paper and you see that there's like a brief description of this thing on the inside of the paper.
Tracks.
The item that you have acquired is a collapsible stagecoach.
Ooh.
Right, I'll add that to my doodle.
You can use an action to place this 4-inch figurine depicting a stagecoach driven by a horse on the ground and speak its command word. The figurine rapidly grows into a full-size stagecoach driven by up to 4 horses and will remain until you use an action to speak the command word that dismisses it, which only works if the stagecoach is empty. It has like shuttered doors and windows, and there is what weirdly looks like a chimney, like coming from the top of the stagecoach.
Interesting.
I added it to my inventory. and
I
it
have an
turns
item
out-
that I will give to you in D&D Beyond.
Okay, it is a thing that exists, and it automatically.
I made a different one.
made a different one. Okay.
I made a custom one.
Okay. Fancy.
We killed a whole bunch of people for this.
Yes.
We
Well,
also disrupted
well,
the Ignian
not-
war effort.
Well, no. we didn't kill a whole bunch of people for this. We killed a whole bunch of people while getting this, but technically the reason we were there was to get rid of that depot.
Yes.
And so they can't, blow up castle walls again when they're invading, or at least not for the next 2-3 weeks.
This was locked up pretty tight.
Well, didn't your note from your boss say this should just help with travel? And I mean, it's a stagecoach, and it's not the one we've been traveling in.
Yeah, there's a corner you probably don't want to ever sit in that stagecoach. Just it's been out on the road for a couple of years, many dozens of miles. Might be time to retire ye old stagecoach.
We do a quick flashback to the time you guys fully flipped your stagecoach over.
Well, it's not a stagecoach. It's a
your covered wagon.
Our covered wagon, which is probably like barely a covered wagon and more
so there
like
is like a coachman's box at the front of this where a driver would sit. There is a door behind the coachman's box to go inside, and then there's also like a pair of double doors with what appears to be like an extendable little staircase to like enter the body of the stagecoach.
All right, well, let's hide the evidence then. We'll transfer to this one. I'm pretty sure we have a few bags of fertilizer left, so we can...
Can we all fit in this? I'm looking at Carlisle and Oz. Like...
Well, it says it's like half a size bigger than the wagon we currently have, so... Like, Matt said, it's
Okay, just
bigger
checking.
than what we have, so, presumably.
Alright, well.
Yes, we'll, ALR will open up the double doors and look inside.
You look inside the stagecoach, and you find yourself looking at the interior dimensions of a fully appointed mid-sized townhome, complete with a common area, a kitchen, and what appears to be the doors to 4 bedrooms, and a hatch in the floor that looks like it leads down to a cellar, as well as an attic loft. The interior space is considerably larger than the exterior of the stagecoach that you just entered from the
Boys,
outside.
we got ourselves an RV.
Yeah, ALR just peeks in, and you just hear echo slightly louder than it should. A surprise curse in Dwarvish.
I stick my head in.
DM/Arcana check. Do I know if I can enter this safely with my bag of holding?
Yes. But probably don't want to collapse it with any of your bags of holding still inside it.
More war crimes! Yay!
So, to give you the full detail, the stagecoach is 10 feet wide and 15 feet long, not counting horses. With a single door on one side, shuttered windows on the opposite side and back, and a coachman's seat at the front. The interior of the coach is an extra-dimensional space that is bigger on the inside. The interior imitates the dimensions of a fully appointed mid-sized townhome, complete with common area, kitchen, 4 bedrooms, a storage cellar, and an attic loft. The door to the coach can be locked with a command as a bonus action and is immune to the knock spell and similar magic. The stagecoach is enchanted with security measures which prevent it from being expanded into a space occupied by a creature or within a space too small to contain its dimensions. Up to 4 horses may be hitched to the wagon, which can be shrunk down with the coach and will be kept in a state of magical stasis until summoned again. Modifications to the interior design are persistent when the wagon is collapsed and expanded again, and up to 1 ton of material besides furnishings may be stored in it without hindering travel speed or collapsibility. And then I have some statistics of, like, depending on how many horses you hitch to it, you travel more distance per day.
Okay, well, that's way better than I was ever hoping for. This was a great idea. I'm glad we murdered all those people for that. That's
All right.
Moxham R&D.
All right, everybody transfer your stuff into the new cart.
Yeah.
You want to give the old girl a send off, and I'll pull out more alchemist fire.
ALR is going to pull out a
I was
bag of
just gonna bag it.
fertilizer, set it in there.
Save the alchemist fire. We might need that when I'm not able to handle things for you.
Brom,
You
a sad song for our soon-to-be departed friend.
Once we
Play
get all of our
taps.
stuff transferred.
Yeah.
Brom's so sick of her crap.
Can Brom play taps? That's the
Can he? Yes. Will he? No.
Yeah. Can? Yeah. Will? No.
Requiem for a friend. I don't know.
So the collapsible stagecoach, Jason, that you found in D&D, I just added it to your character sheet, but the one you found is the magic item that I created. You have access to it through the content sharing. That's why it came up when you looked for it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, you now have it twice on your character sheet. You'll have to remove one of them.
Oh. I'm gonna put one of them in the other one.
The universe blows up. The campaign is over.
All right, I deleted the one you did because I added the command
Yep,
word
cool.
to the original one I had.
Then
Hell
yeah, once everything's transferred over, I have a lot of fond memories of this cart. I also took a concussion because of this cart. That seems an appropriate eulogy. Go ahead, Zintris.
I look at Rogers, Carlisle, and Rana. You all have all your stuff, right?
They like hold up their backpacks.
Everyone's good? I don't want to be blamed for destroying someone's priceless family heirloom.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're good.
Boom.
To bring it back to Matt's community reference from the beginning of the session, Brom will play his new hit song, Walter is a No Good Bee.
As it burns.
I have officially deleted the original wagon from the original campaign off of my character sheet.
All right, rip wagon. It's been through a lot.
R.I.P. wagon.
R.I.P. wagon.
We'll hitch the 3 horses to the cart.
Obviously, the worst death in this episode so far is that wagon.
It's the wagon, yeah. That wagon did
Hey,
have a
it's-
family.
I say, arguably, the one of the longest running characters in this campaign, as we got it with our initial money.
Is
Yeah.
that damn wagon. Did us well.
Alrighty.
I'm suddenly feeling emotionally attached to that wagon, and it's already gone.
Gone.
We're having an
It's burned
emotional
up.
send-off for a fucking wagon. What are we doing?
It's like when you trade in the car that you loved, and then like you sit in the brand new car. It's like, no, that car's a piece of shit. All right, we're good.
Where people upgrade.
Walter's like, that wagon's been through a lot with us. He's like, oh shit, this one has cup holders? Oh my god!
No, screw that wagon.
Wait. Are these seats are heated? Oh my god, these seats are heated!
We've been living in filth.
Yeah, all of the bathrooms all of the bedrooms have fully functioning like bathrooms in them with like enchanted
God.
tubs.
Oh my god.
Like, it's a
There's
nice ass
4
wagon.
bedrooms.
All right,
4 bedrooms.
this is a nice ass wagon.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, somebody's gonna have to share, unfortunately.
Looks like we're driving around in a gnaw.
Does it have a living room?
Nice
Because
ass
Walter
wagon.
will just sleep on the
It has
couch.
it has a living area. It also has an
And an
attic
attic
loft
loft.
and a cellar. So like theoretically,
There
you
are
could-
there are
We'll be
8
fine.
of us.
Figure it out.
Alar's fine crashing on I presume there's a couch in the
Mhm.
common area. So
We can figure out rooms another time. It's not the end of the world. I was just being silly.
So you guys travel.
Hell yeah.
Travel onward. You find that in addition to the supplies that you had purchased with your other wagon, there was like a full contingent of supplies in the cellar of the interior of the wagon. So you have more than enough supplies to make the rest of your journey without having to actually like stop anywhere. Doesn't hurt that you were in like a completely different vehicle than what you were seen fleeing that town, which we already forgot the name of because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's on fire.
It's on fire, yeah. And the next like 2 weeks of your journey go pretty smoothly. One evening, as you guys are traveling, Carlisle is taking a shift at the reins up front. Rogers calls everybody into the common area for a like a meeting, essentially.
all right.
Everybody comes from their various like spaces that they've claimed within the structure. And as you kind of gather all in, Carlisle will continue to drive. Roger sits down and he says, Okay, well, I'm gonna give the floor to Rana here. It was on her behalf that I have gathered you here today for this fine occasion. I believe she's got something that she'd like to go over with all of you, as we are getting pretty close to the end of the road here. And Rana kind of fidgets for a moment in her seat. And she says, now that we are on the final leg of our journey, I think it has come time that I tell you of the Estelgeth in detail. We must plan our approach. She looks at you, Walter. With a significant amount of greater care than we have planned other operations in thus far, if we do not all wish to be dead or much worse.
That is understandable.
I also wish to discuss the price I demand in exchange for the information and assistance. Jack looks to see if anybody's gonna have a problem with that.
Name your price.
She says, in time, when I tell you what I have to tell you, you will realize that I am in possession of, as they say, all of the cards. But I do not think that you will find my request unreasonable.
Alright, well, you've got the cards.
The Estelgeth is a fortress, originally of dwarven build. Whether it was built by the dwarves and captured by the Invarians in the Lost Age, or whether it was built by the dwarves for the Invarians, I do not know. The original structure is dwarven engineering. There's a solid monolith of stone built into and out of a single stone peak mountain. The mountain is the only topographical feature in any direction for many miles. It sits at the center of a expansive marsh, making it impossible to approach without being spotted hours before reaching the fortress itself. Though I cannot confirm this, I believe it wise to take it as fact. It is said that the lookout on the fortress has means of foiling all methods of magical concealment, as well as mundane viewing. Whatever our approach to the Estelgeth, I believe that sneaking in undetected will likely be impossible. The only known entrance to the fortress is through the base of a mountain through a large metal door. This is where equipment, supplies, and prisoners being incarcerated there are brought. It is how I was brought into the prison when I was a girl. Inside, a hollow shaft at the center of the mountain contains a chain pulled lift which rises to the fortress proper at the rock above. I do not know what you intend to do to get into the Estelgeth, but even so, whatever it ends up being, I can assure you this. That will be the easy part. Kind of ponders for a minute. She says, entry into the prison itself. This part is difficult to explain properly if you have not experienced it. I only passed that way once many years ago, but I will do my best to recount to you what I know. The fortress, the mountain, this is not truly what the Estelgeth is. The fortress is more like the passage to the true Estelgeth. There is a chamber in the fortress, like a throne room. In the floor of the chamber there is a hole, as if part of this chamber collapsed long ago. It is here that the true passage to the Estelgeth lies. This is the reason that the prison is considered inescapable. Passing through that opening, you are in the same place, but not in the real world anymore. That is the best I can explain it. The fortress, the mountain, the surrounding marsh, it is all there, but it is a hollow echo of itself. A bleak, desolate place full of death and decay. Once inside, there are no walls or bars or chains to contain those incarcerated there. They are not necessary. Those who are sent there have no way to return, and there is no way to escape, nowhere to escape to. There are other things in that place besides the inmates. Those who are foolhardy or desperate enough to attempt to venture out into the wilds from the relative safety of the fortress and its collective population. They do not survive. She kind of like looks at you and she says, "Do you understand what I have explained?"
Have we experienced something like that before? At the failed teleportation at the time, the Chronomancer's lab, there was an area there that was kind of messed up. The scar, they called it the scar or something like that. I don't remember.
You
What
kind of
about
like
the lantern.
what's up?
The lantern. The folks that were affected by that bizarre lantern. Was it similar to that?
So you described the area that was like damaged by rampant chronomancy, and she's like, "No, it is not this." You described the lantern incident to her, and she raises an eyebrow at you, and you get the sense that something about that telling her about that lantern has meaning for her, but she says, "No, it is."
I rolled a 14 for Arcana, so does it? Has Alar ever heard of planar travel of that kind? Okay.
No, and specifically planar travel is really not a thing that
Okay, I
y'all
wasn't
know
sure.
about in this game world.
Okay,
so no,
cool,
this
cool.
this is.
Okay, then I got. I believe you. I got no frame of reference.
She says, "If
Walter just describes the mountain town of Valand.
yes, it sounds like this. Yes, no." She says, "If the person that you are attempting to liberate from the Estelgeth still lives, once inside, if we can locate them, I have the means to bring us back from that place to the real world. I did it once before. That is how I escaped. To my knowledge, I am the only person ever to escape from the Estelgeth. But I am the only one who knows where the exit is and how to pass through it when we get there."
Okay. So we gotta make sure that you don't get scratched on you, because you are our ticket out.
No. And also, I will not leave the Estelgeth again until I have completed my purpose. And thus, should you agree to these terms, neither will you.
Is that your price?
That is my price.
What is your purpose there?
There
Have
is
a
a
guess.
man
Yeah.
in the Estelgeth. She like rolls up her sleeves, and you can see him on her face, even though she wears her hood. But like she rolls up her sleeves, you see the like intricate spiraled scar tissue running all up her arms and on her skin. She says, "The guards themselves never go into the prison. There are constructs on the inside, abominations crafted from what used to be people. The guards have a mean of inhabiting these bodies from the outside world. There are crystals embedded into them which allow the guards to assume control. But there is one person who is in the Estelgeth by choice. The person who crafts these abominations. The person responsible for this and countless other abominations and atrocities, the likes of which none of you could imagine in 1,000 lifetimes. I will not leave the Estelgeth until he is dead. That is my price."
Out of... Forgive my being perhaps indelicate, but I have 2 questions. Is your ability to leave a result of what he did to you?
Yes.
Do you know his name?
I do not know his true name. Most on the inside call him the Butcher. But I have heard another name, one he uses to refer to himself when dictating notes to his mad assistant.
And what name is that?
He calls himself Pendragon. And that is where we'll end the session tonight.
Knew it.
I gotta use the mirrors! Give me the mirror!
Suddenly, your line of questioning
Yeah.
seems a lot more reasonable.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna ask for a stagecoach, but this is a much more favorable outcome, as I really don't.
I support this.
Alright.
God.
So-
Well,
Well, God,
I got sidetracked by grapes. I'm back on the land of the living now.
Are
so,
you?
And
That was a lot.
thank you guys for joining me tonight. As always, thank you at home for joining us. As always, good session, everybody. Filled with the high octane level of hijinks we've come to expect from this group. But,
a lot of fun today.
Well, we got to keep up with the other group.
mhm.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun today. We got
I will
world
say-
building and some lore.
You guys, they did like blast their way out of an entire city. So like their bounty is probably still higher than yours, but like I think
Getting up
both
there.
groups have now definitely achieved like
Are we not even now after?
most wanted
class?
status within the Ignian Empire for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of
That-
just leveled the
At least
whole...
Alar's wanted for something he actually did this time, so
Yeah.
it works.
So that is our session for
But-
tonight. Thank you to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle. We will be back next week for the next update in the Pirates saga, and the week after that for the next update of the Delve Requisite Fool's Errant saga, where we will enter the Estelgeth. So join us next time right here, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check us out on YouTube and all of the other places. Subscribe, follow, do all of the things. We got content all sorts of days of the week. We've got, I don't know if they're live tonight, but Omen on YouTube, running
We were
concurrent
live
with,
earlier.
with this stream. So be sure to check them out, and we will catch you on the next